The roar of the Rasengan and the chirping of the Chidori. The moment the two voices sounded, even Wukage and the others who were separated by the bone forest at the other end. Almost at the same time, they looked over here. Because the chakra fluctuation spread in the next second, although the blow of the two of them was useless due to the strong chakra fluctuations. But this roar meant that Nine Tails Jinchuriki and Sasuke had fought. Beep. Rasengan and Chidori collided together, forming an extremely dazzling white light cluster. Not only did the light flash away, but it dissipated in the blink of an eye. The dazzling brilliance struck Wukage and the others through the bone forest. They only saw a flash of white light, followed by a roar. Has it started yet? Shigego turned to look in the direction of Sasuke behind him. Onogi looked at the two in front of him. Whether it is Kimimaro or Shigego, the fighting power of these two people is very amazing. Even if the five shadows team up to take down these two people in a short while, it will not be easy to do. But it is not impossible to bypass these two people. Nine Tails Jinchuriki is very important, and he must not be allowed to face Uchiha Sasuke alone. In case Sasuke wants to do points to Nine Tails Jinchuriki, why don't they five Kages just watch like this? Of course not. Hokage, movie, how about the two of you keeping these two guys in check? Onogi said to the two of them. And at this time Tsunade frowned when he heard this. What is third Tsuchikage going to do? Onoki looked up at the sky. Go around. Nine Tails Jinchuriki must not have any problems. After thinking for a while, Tsunade nodded in agreement. Okay, Naruto will leave to you. Just leave these two guys to us and hold them back. Speaking of one-on-one, Hokage and Raikage are against Kimimaro and Shigego. It is not certain who will win. But Tsunade has Itachi to help, and Raikage also has Darui and Shi to assist. It may not be easy to win, but it will not be so easy to be defeated. Third Tsuchikage took Akito and Kuroto, and Gaara took Temari and Kankuro, and Mizukage Terumi Mei, Shiro, and Chojuro along with them and flew towards Naruto and Sasuke. The moment he crossed the bone forest from the air, Kimimaro attacked. But Raikage blocked him. With Darui's land done, Kimimaro couldn't stop them. Chongo's attempt to bombard with the chakra cannon also failed. Because Uchiha Itachi knocked Shigego back with Susanoo directly. If it weren't for the consideration that these two were Sasuke's subordinates, Itachi's full firepower would not be as simple as repelling Shigego. As Onoki and others crossed the barriers of Kimimaro and Shigego, came to Naruto and Sasuke's side. However, before falling from the sky, I saw an extremely shocking picture. Naruto. Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Nine Tails Chakra mode has been turned on. The 9 red tails waved continuously in the air and fell down heavily. Bang bang bang. The ground was smashed to pieces, dust and smoke everywhere. However, the black thunder kept flickering in the smoke, easily dodging Naruto's attack. A series of strong chakra fluctuations swept away. Naruto fully activated the 9 tails chakra mode, and the aura that erupted was astonishing. Onoki was a little surprised. 9 tails Jinchuriki, can you completely control 9 tails chakra? This is unexpected. No wonder Hokage overlooked 9 tails Jinchuriki as a single person to deal with Sasuke. Being able to control 9 tails chakra means that the combat power is comparable to Kage-level ninjas, or even stronger. Has Naruto reached this point? Gaara was equally amazed by Naruto's progress. Controlling the tailed beast chakra, Gaara, who was once also a Jinchuriki, knows how difficult it can be. And still 9 tails. Boom. At this moment, a flame burst out suddenly. Naruto uses the tailed beast chakra to resist. However, the terrifying flame impact instantly dispersed the smoke, and the terrifying heat wave caused by the terrifying flames swept across. Even third Tsuchikage and others who have not had time to land in the air. They can clearly feel the high temperature contained in the terrible heat wave. The skin feels hot and painful just by being blown gently by the heat wave. This fire style power is simply too strong. And it's not over yet. Block fire styles Naruto with 9 tails chakra. In the next second, an astonishing sound of breaking wind hit the sky. One after another shurikens swept rapidly. However, these shurikens are covered with an amazing wind-style chakra. It directly drives the invisible airflow to rotate, passing by in an instant. A drop of cold sweat dripped from Naruto's forehead, and a chakra-condensed tail behind him was instantly cut into 2 sections. Although it can grow back, it has no effect on Naruto. But this terrifying cutting ability, it also makes Naruto frightened. Bang, bang, bang. Dodge the attacks of these wind-style shurikens by rolling and jumping in succession. The ground began to shake. Earth-style, earth flow big river. The mud rising from Naruto's feet swallowed him whole in the blink of an eye. Naruto, who was trapped by the mud, had no way to break free in a short time. In the next second, the sound of water flowing through the air resounded. Water style, hard vortex water blade, Arlean. Sasuke, who jumped high in the air, held a javelin made of water in both hands, and threw straight from the air towards Naruto below. It pierced through the sky in an instant, leaving behind amazing ripples, and the other knife directly hit Naruto. Although Nine Tails' chakra covered it at this moment, two violent streams of water Uzumaki suddenly rose up in the next second. One stretched to tens of meters high before slowly stopping. The sound of rushing water is constantly turning, and the two water streams Uzumaki collide with each other. At this moment, Sasuke, whose body was slowly falling, raised his hand. A series of astonishing black thunders emerged from his body. A black thunder shot out from the fingertips and fell into two streams of water Uzumaki, lightning style plus water style. Naruto's situation is very worrying, and this series of attacks directly stupefied Gaara and others. Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Nine Tails Chakra Naruto has been mastered. Unexpectedly. Was suppressed by Uchiha Sasuke, with the coordinated attack of 5 escape ninjutsu. The guy didn't even use the Sharingan and his Rinnegan. However, Sasuke is very dissatisfied now. It's too slow, because it's too slow. It seems that the strength of the attack is still not enough. Sasuke glanced at the increased resolution of Ashura. Mastered Ashura Chakra, 32.8%. Sasuke is not very satisfied with this speed. It seems that Naruto needs to continue to increase the strength. If Onoki and others who came here at this moment knew what Sasuke was thinking, I'm afraid it will be even more frightening. A Nine Tails Jinchuriki, mastered the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails Chakra. Just the outburst of chakra in this body alone is not something ordinary ninjas can deal with. Even Kage-level ninjas can't easily break through defenses. But Sasuke was not enough to suppress Jinchuriki with 5 escape ninjutsu, so he wanted a stronger explosion. The roaring sound dissipated slowly, and the two huge water streams Uzumaki also gradually subsided. Naruto slowly reappeared in front of everyone. Naruto walked out of the mud, his clothes were already in tatters. However, the surging tail beast chakra is rapidly healing Naruto's wound. Apart from the whole person looking a little embarrassed, there is no other problem. Seeing that Naruto had nothing to do and his aura was very stable, Sasuke nodded. As expected, the intensity was too low. So that Ashura Chakra's parsing speed is so slow. Hands up. Draw the Kusanagi sword. Lightning style, speed. Flash. ZZZ. Sasuke, who burst into lightning style in an instant, suddenly changed his momentum. Feeling the changes in Sasuke, third Tsuchikage and others who had just landed frowned instantly. In the next second, a black thunder flashed across the sky in an instant. Sasuke, who seemed to flash in front of Naruto, directly cut down Naruto's wolf with the Kusanagi sword in his hand. The blade of thunder and lightning burst out with astonishing power. However, Naruto's reaction was also very quick. He immediately controlled the tail beast chakra to condense chakra's arm, and caught the sword with his bare hands. Grab Sasuke's Kusanagi sword. The response was good. Sasuke raised his left hand instantly and stabbed fiercely towards Naruto's chest. Chidori. The black lightning instantly condensed into a black Chidori. Beep. Under the blessing of terrible speed, Naruto didn't react to this blow. His shoulder was directly pierced, and his body was thrown out like a cannonball. Rolling wildly on the ground. The speed of the tumbling was extremely fast, bringing up a series of surges of dust and smoke. However, the moment Sasuke landed, he accelerated again and chased after him. With one hand in the mudra, take a light breath. Fire style, great fireball technique, boom. The spherical flame was like a bursting shell, instantly hitting Naruto, who was rolling. Burning fire. Nine Tails chakra was much weaker again. And Sasuke's attack will not stop there. Almost followed the fireball towards Naruto's Sasuke, the moment the flames exploded. The Kusanagi sword in his hand burst out in astonishing black thunder, like a black spear held in Sasuke's hand. As soon as the ripples formed by the flame explosion spread, they were directly pierced by the black thunder spear. The power of thunder and fire crazily impacted on Naruto. Naruto, whose shoulder was directly pierced, was firmly nailed to the ground by the Kusanagi sword. Naruto wanted to stand up and pulled out the Kusanagi sword from the disc. Beep. Sasuke kicked Naruto firmly on the ground, making Naruto unable to move. Is that all? Naruto, being so firmly suppressed, Naruto couldn't believe it. He has clearly mastered Nine Tails chakra, yet he is so powerless against Sasuke. Even Sasuke has only used basic ninjutsu attacks so far. All kinds of astonishing ninjutsu should have been easily resisted by Naruto's Nine Tails chakra. But Sasuke is different. The power of each ninjutsu of Sasuke far exceeds the power that normal ninjutsu should have. The root cause of this is, this guy has refined chakra's nature transformation to a terrifying level, so even my chakra can't easily resist the ninjutsu power he uses. Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke's power far exceeds your expectations, just relying on my power is no match for him at all. Even Nine Tails said such words, Naruto's mind violently shook. And at this moment, Sasuke glanced at the strange flow of sand under his feet. Suddenly showing an impatient look, turn around. There was a noise here and there, and a white light pierced through the air and shot straight at Sasuke. Dust escape, original realm stripping technique. A white light emanated from Onoki's palm. Raise your hand. The reincarnation of Sasuke's left eye is turning slightly. The sealing technique is exhausted. Dust Dun's attack was easily absorbed by Sasuke. Seeing his attack being absorbed, Onogi was stunned for a moment. What kind of ability is this? You really are annoying flies. Sasuke is now focused on analyzing Ashura chakra, and doesn't want to waste time on these people. Raise your hands to print. Several clones appeared behind Sasuke in an instant. Wood style, shadow clone technique. In an instant, 4 Sasuke appeared and jumped around. Onogi, Gaara, and Terumi 3 shadows want to come to help Naruto. But Sasuke doesn't want to waste time on them. 4 wood-style shadow clones are printed at the same time. 4 red yang formation, boom 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 boom. A crimson enchantment rises. Onoki and the others who rushed over stopped at the same time. Looking at the enchantment that suddenly rose in front of them, they were all dumbfounded. This technique. This kind of enchantment. Sasuke was released with shadow clone. How can this be? This enchantment seems to be very strong, Gaara said. Onogi laughed. Very strong. Of course strong. This is the 4 red yang formation, an enchantment that requires 4 Kage level ninjas to work together. And Uchiha Sasuke actually used 4 clones too. While the 4 red yang formation doesn't look like it's particularly strong, the color is a little thinner, but even so. To be able to open this enchantment, even if 3rd Tsuchikage uses all his chakra to use dust escape, it is absolutely impossible to break it. 4 Kage level ninjas can cast it, Gaara gasped. However, Sasuke alone can do this kind of technique by relying on 4 shadow clone. This guy. Separate us from Uzumaki Naruto even if you split your own chuk into 5. But in this way, his own chakra has been weakened to 1/5 of the original, so the threat to Uzumaki Naruto will be greatly reduced. Terumi said. This is not wrong. Sasuke doesn't have unlimited chakra yet, and casting wood-style shadow clone does divide his chakra into 5 parts. But even a 5th chakra, Sasuke is not afraid. And just when Sasuke was about to turn back and concentrate on dealing with Naruto, a system prompt appears. Analysis of Dust Escape Part 3. Resolution. 37%, has mastered Dust Escape Chakra Change, 37%. What? Directly mastered the resolution of 37%. This is. Sasuke froze for a moment. Could it be because the sealing technique just now was exhausted? It turns out that using Rinnegan to absorb chakra can quickly increase the resolution. This is a major discovery. Sealing technique can make the resolution skyrocket. If this is the case, then I don't have to rely on insight to analyze it all the time. Instead, you can directly absorb ninjutsu. Even. It can be parsed directly by swallowing chakra. Sasuke looked back at Naruto with a much more excited gaze. But at this moment, Naruto, who pulled out the Kusanagi sword from his body, casually threw the Kusanagi sword aside. Without lightning style to paralyze his body, Naruto's wound began to heal quickly. At the same time, Naruto's aura has also become a little different. Sasuke. You are still the same as before, always walking in front of me. But. Naruto clenched his fist and his gaze became more determined. Even so, I, Uzumaki Naruto, will never give up easily. I must beat you. As he spoke, a deafening roar erupted from Naruto's body. The airflow formed by chakra fluctuates and spreads rapidly. Sasuke was quickly slid out by the impact of the airflow. It slid directly out of a distance of more than 10 meters before slowly stopping. Smoke billowed along the way. At this moment, the 9 tails chakra on Naruto became stronger again. At the same time, Naruto entered a new form. The original tailed beast chakra borrowed the form and became Kurama mode. This mode can only be activated when the tailed beast and Jinchuriki are truly integrated. Now Naruto is stronger, but Naruto's power is more than that. The moment Kurama mode was turned on, the familiar chakra wave erupted, and Sasuke's eyes shrank slightly. Sage Chakra. Sage mode is on. Kurama Sage mode. The corners of Sasuke's mouth are raised slightly. That's how interesting it is. Is it finally a complete combination of Kurama mode and Sage mode? Sasuke had felt the magic chakra in Naruto before, but Naruto didn't use magic when he turned on the Nine Tails mode. It seems that Naruto at that time did not grasp the power of the fusion of the two modes. And now, Naruto finally got the hang of it. The strong chakra fluctuations erupted in an instant, and the airflow formed was even more turbulent. The ground instantly cracked. A series of storms swept away. Now Naruto's chakra amount far exceeds Sasuke's, even without using wood-style shadow clone. Sasuke's total chakra is not as good as Naruto's. But this is only when Sasuke does not enable Sage mode. If Sage mode is enabled, it will be different. But now it is not possible to turn on Sage mode casually. It's not that it can't be used, but once Sage mode is turned on, it will disturb the chakra of the wood-style clone. Make wood-style shadow clone disappear. The 4 red yang formation will disappear, and the annoying flies will come to harass him. Furthermore, now that we have found a way to increase the resolution, Sasuke can do without chakra. Reincarnation Sharingan stared at Naruto. Sasuke, this is my strongest form right now. I'm going to give it my all this time. The strongest state? No. Sasuke smiled and shook his head lightly. No. Naruto, you are not at your strongest yet. How can Naruto be said to be in the strongest state without the power of 6 paths? Not the strongest state? Naruto was stunned for a moment. Did he not know if he was in the strongest state? What does Sasuke mean by that? Kurama. Naruto, let's do it. This guy's current chakra is only 1/5 of his previous chakra, which is our good chance. Although he couldn't figure it out, Naruto didn't want to waste this good opportunity. Explode directly. The explosive growth of chakra has greatly improved Naruto's strength, speed, and defense. The speed at which Naruto rushed over in this instant was completely on par with Sasuke's lightning speed. Even faintly, it is faster and faster. Sasuke dodges directly. Naruto's fist missed, but Naruto in this state, Senju Chakra's perception ability locked Sasuke's position almost instantly. Chakra's fist suddenly exploded from behind, directly blasting towards Sasuke's avoiding direction. Watch the incoming chakra's hand. A smile flashed in Sasuke's eyes. Just thinking about how to absorb Naruto's chakra. After all, there are only 2 ninjutsu in Naruto, 1 shadow clone and 1 Rasengan. The shadow clone absorption is directly lifted. And Rasengan is a trick for melee combat, which is not easy to absorb. But now Naruto has sent himself an excellent plan. Hands up. Ceiling printing. Sasuke directly activates Rinnegan's ability. The fist was instantly absorbed by the white light that suddenly formed in front of Sasuke. And because it is connected to Naruto's body, chakra is continuously absorbed by Sasuke. And Sasuke stared at the interface of the system at the moment. Ashura Chakra Analysis, 40%, 42.6%, 47.1%. The explosively rising resolution made Sasuke almost laugh out loud. However, the system shows more than 1. Congratulations to host Woodstyle for advancing to the limit. Woodstyle Blood Succession. The 6th stage Woodstyle Blood Succession boundary raised a level? This. Sasuke froze. Ashura Chakra's analysis Sasuke can understand, but why when Woodstyle is upgraded? Is it because of 9 tails? 9 tails, as the tailed beast closest to 10 tails among tailed beasts, can be said to have inherited most of 10 tails' abilities. The essence of 10 tails is the sacred tree, and Woodstyle is also derived from the power of the sacred tree. Thinking of this, Sasuke can understand. It's not bad that Woodstyle's blood succession limit level has been increased. Sage Transformation level up intermediate right pointing arrow advanced. Sage Transformation. Advanced, the 3rd form is open, can burst chakra foreign farm. Sasuke's eyes trembled slightly again. Even the level of Sage Transformation has been improved. Although Sasuke wants to improve these abilities, he has never had the time, and at the same time, he does not know how to improve them. I didn't expect to be able to improve in this way. Etc. If Sage Transformation can be improved by absorbing other ninjas' magic chakra. So what about 5 escapes? Sasuke's gaze drifted into the distance suddenly. Looking at Onoki, Gaara, and Terumi Mei, seems worth a try. While Sasuke was thinking, Naruto quickly put away his chakra. Although a lot of chakra was absorbed by Sasuke, this amount of chakra can only be regarded as a drop in the bucket for the current Naruto. What surprised Naruto though was Sasuke's ability to absorb chakra's abilities, making him a little difficult to deal with. Damn. Sasuke can absorb chakra, and even Shienju chakra. After jumping away, Naruto looked at Sasuke slowly with fear in his eyes. Is this the power of the Rinnegan? What Sasuke used just now is obviously not ninjutsu, which means pupil technique. And Sharingan's pupil technique probably doesn't include this, so the only guess is that Sasuke's new eyes now, the power possessed by Rinnegan. If it is like this, then the next battle will be difficult. Outside the barrier, Inoki and the others looked at Sasuke. Absorbed. Sure enough, the old man was right, this guy has absorbed ninjutsu. Onoki frowned. Being able to absorb ninjutsu means that ninjutsu is completely useless for Sasuke. Whether it's his dust escape or ordinary ninjutsu. Originally Sasuke was very powerful, and with this technique, Onoki couldn't think of any way to deal with Sasuke. Facing such a tough Sasuke, coupled with such terrifying power, this is simply cheating. Naruto. Gaara is also a little worried about Naruto now. It looks like Naruto is relying on his mighty chakra now. Needless to say, Naruto chakra with 9 tails is definitely one of the best monsters in the entire ninja world. But in the face of Sasuke who can absorb ninjutsu attacks, chakra seems to be able to absorb them too, so all ninjutsu attacks are useless. What's next for Naruto? Kurama's mood is also very complicated now, he never thought that Sasuke still has such power. The power that it is proud of has turned out to be a display. Even if you are not careful, you can become the enemy's help. It seems that the only way to deal with this guy is to use physical skills. Naruto spoke, but Kurama thought it might not work. Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke's taijutsu. Kurama has also seen it before, and that kind of superb physical skills can completely crush Naruto. But relying on Sage Mode's baby group hands may still have a chance. Cheer up Kurama, we haven't lost yet, don't be so pessimistic. Hearing this, Kurama smiled, boy, you should think about how to deal with him first. Worried about me. Hearing Kurama's voice Naruto is relieved. If you give up here, the battle after that will be even more difficult. It seems that you don't intend to continue to make a move, so let me take the initiative. Sasuke's voice sounded. The lightning on his body erupted instantly. The lightning bolt fires again, and this time Sasuke needs to be faster, because in this way he can catch Naruto. Absorb Naruto's chakra. Swish. Lightning flashed in an instant, and Sasuke flashed straight in the direction of Naruto. This time, however, Naruto stepped back. While retreating continuously, Naruto took out kunai, preparing to use hidden weapons to slow down Sasuke's pursuit. But let's talk about the power of the kunai throwing technique. Sasuke is much stronger than Naruto. Sasuke also took out a large number of shurikens at the first time. Throwing it instantly, a series of shurikens flew directly towards Naruto's lightning-style shuriken. The speed is extremely fast, not only knocking down the kunai thrown by Naruto in an instant. The shuriken thrown by Sasuke did not go directly towards Naruto. Instead, it draws an arc in the air and shoots directly towards Naruto's rear. Naruto wanted to look back and see what Sasuke was doing. However, the next second crackled. Sasuke appeared directly in front of Naruto, and then grabbed Naruto with one hand. Seeing Sasuke's actions, Naruto was taken aback for a moment. This is obviously not trying to attack yourself but trying to catch yourself. Naruto's instinctive first reaction was to dodge. However, at the moment of dodging, Sasuke's eyes narrowed slightly. A black stick was shot out of the palm, directly piercing Naruto's shoulder. The moment the black stick pierced his body, Naruto was taken aback for a moment, and he could clearly feel that the flow of chakra in his body slowed down a lot. How is this going? However, he hadn't figured it out yet, and in the next second, Sasuke's second black stick stabbed straight at him. Naruto would not give a chance for Sasuke to stab himself with the second black stick. A punch directly to Sasuke. Sasuke's attack was forced to be interrupted. The amount of Naruto's chakra is quite astonishing now. Sasuke is not feeling well after being hit by Naruto. Just back away from the attack. Naruto also took the opportunity to distance himself from Sasuke again. However, he had just stepped back for a certain distance, and hadn't stood still for a moment. The black lightning style burst out suddenly. Naruto looked behind him in surprise. There was a shuriken thrown in front of him in this position. The black thunder on it is still advancing. The explosive lightning style immediately paralyzed Naruto's body, causing Naruto's movements to pause briefly. It doesn't matter if it's an ordinary enemy, but facing Sasuke, a moment of opening is enough to decide the outcome. Sasuke, who rushed forward, once again saw two black sticks piercing Naruto's body. The flow of Naruto's chakra becomes more slow, as if passing through for a moment. And the next second Sasuke grabbed Naruto's neck directly. Chakra devour. A steady stream of chakra is absorbed by Sasuke. The resolution has skyrocketed again, and at this moment, Gaara and the others outside the barrier. He looked at the two people inside the barrier with an extremely nervous expression. What an ingenious calculation. This kid actually judged where Naruto stopped in advance. A series of attacks, all for this moment. Compared with Sasuke's gorgeous ninjutsu, this kind of attack makes Onogi feel frightened. He is not afraid of pure strength, but someone like Sasuke is not only strong, but also able to formulate amazing battle plans in an instant. Every step of the attack is premeditated, and such an enemy is truly terrifying. Just like a puppeteer controlling puppets, fighting against such an enemy is like becoming a puppet. Fear. At this moment, Naruto was caught by Sasuke, and the chakra in his body was continuously absorbed by Sasuke. And Naruto has no way to resist or move at all. The smile on Sasuke's face grew stronger. Ashura chakra analysis. 50%, 61%, 76.6%. With Ashura chakra's continuous analysis, Sasuke is getting more and more excited about reaching 100%. Double Rinnegan is about to open. At the same time, the limit of wood-style blood succession is also improved by absorbing Nine Tails chakra. Congratulations to host Wood-style for advancing to the limit. Wood-style blood succession boundary, the 7th stage. 8th stage. After 2 consecutive stages of improvement, Sasuke could clearly feel that his body had become stronger. And at this moment Sasuke even felt the change in Rinnegan. There was a strange burning sensation in the eyes. Go-Yu quickly turned 3 on Sasuke's Rinnegan. Ashura chakra analysis, 85%. Sasuke frowned and kept sucking Naruto's chakra, but stopped after reaching this value. Meanwhile, Rinnegan's burning sensation grew stronger. What's going on? Why can't it continue to increase? And when Sasuke was wondering, the lightning-style chakra contained in the shuriken on the ground was exhausted. Suddenly Naruto's body finally regained its ability to move, although the black rod interfered with his chakra flow. But after the body lost the paralysis of lightning style, at least the ability to move was restored. Naruto kicked Sasuke in the chest, instantly broke free from Sasuke's grip. And the continuous retreat directly opened a distance of more than 10 meters in an instant. Sasuke stood still and patted his chest lightly. Mastered Ashura chakra. 85% the value stops it and it will not move here. If there is a reason, then it is probably because Naruto himself has not fully awakened Ashura chakra. It's a pity. If Naruto has fully awakened Ashura chakra, then Sasuke has fully grasped this chakra just now. Although it's a bit regretful, but Sasuke is even more puzzled now that his own Rinnegan seems to be undergoing some kind of change. And this change is probably caused by Ashura chakra. In Sasuke's Rinnegan now Go-Yu keeps turning. Next second, the burning sensation became extremely intense. Then the sound of the system sounded. Congratulations to host for improving his pupil power, and reincarnation Sharingan has opened the 6-hook jade form. Enhancement of all pupil techniques, upgraded from 3-hook jade to 6-hook jade. That's good news. Didn't quite get Ashura chakra though. But it's only a little bit worse. At the same time, thanks to Naruto, Sasuke's wood-style blood succession limit has also successfully advanced to the 8th stage. It has been directly promoted to 3 stages. Sage transformation has also been upgraded to an advanced level, enabling the chakra diplomacy mode. It seems that the harvest this time is not small. And Sasuke turned his head to look at the 3 shadows outside the barrier. Then you can experiment with that idea a little bit. Now Sasuke's water nature transformation is level 4, and the soil Hefeng nature transformation is level 3. There is also the nature transformation of the fire attribute, which is also at the 3rd level. If it is really possible to improve by absorbing chakra, then it is not difficult to ignite the fire of chakra. Sasuke glanced at Naruto. It's a pity that the current you haven't met my requirements, Naruto. Hearing this, Naruto, who was afraid of Sasuke, frowned. He suddenly felt that Sasuke didn't seem to want to continue fighting with him. Naruto clenched his fist lightly. Sasuke, do you want to escape? Escape? Sasuke smiled helplessly. Should he be the one who wants to escape? Shouldn't it be Naruto? Snort. It's just a battle, let's go here. Sasuke looked at Naruto lightly. Your strength is still too far behind for me now. Said Sasuke pointed to Naruto. There should be stronger power in your body, but it's a pity you haven't developed it. Naruto, feel the power in your body well and guide him out as much as possible, otherwise you won't even be qualified to be my opponent. Stronger power? Naruto doesn't know what Sasuke is talking about. Don't you know your own body? And master Kurama mode by yourself, plus Sage mode. Isn't that kind of power strong? Sasuke actually said that there is a stronger power in his body. What force could be stronger than these two forces? Impossible. Well, now think about it for yourself. I'm going to clean up these flies that come. Said Sasuke instantly disappeared in front of Naruto. And saw that Sasuke suddenly disappeared. Naruto was stunned for a moment. At that moment just now, he didn't see Sasuke at all. Why did he suddenly disappear? On the other side of the barrier, Sasuke appeared in front of Onoki and the others. Naruto, who heard the movement, quickly turned his head and looked towards this side. When seeing Sasuke appear outside the barrier, Naruto was dumbfounded. How did he do that? Why can Sasuke suddenly go directly outside the barrier? Obviously the barrier has not been lifted. Naruto was stunned for a moment. If Sasuke got outside the barrier and he was trapped in the barrier, Onoki and others would be in danger. Naruto, who wanted to break through the barrier, was stopped by Kurama just as he took a step. Are you courting death? Even if we hit this enchantment, we will only be burned to death by chakra flames. Naruto, calm down. Kurama reminds Naruto, but Naruto looks at Sasuke beyond the barrier. I am walking towards third Tsuchikage and others, and now I am extremely anxious. Is there a way for Kurama to break through this barrier? Only tried it with the tailed beast bomb. Tailed beast bomb? Good. Just use the tailed beast bomb. Sasuke looked at the three shadows in front of him, as well as their guards. It seems that Kimimaro and Jingo are not very compatible with you, so you like to come to me so much? Sasuke's voice made the three shadows feel like they fell into the abyss directly, feeling the terrifying cold rising. The cold hair stood on end in an instant. At this moment Sasuke looked at the nearest third Tsuchikage. Directly accelerated and rushed towards third Tsuchikage. Kitu and Haitu reacted immediately. But in the next second, the black lightning style erupted, directly hitting the two of them instantly. Immobilize them directly. A Sasuke grabbed third Tsuchikage's neck. Chakra devour. Analyzing dust escape, 40%. 43%. 48%. Earth attribute nature transformation, 23%, 3. 27%, 3. 32%, 3. It's really improving. A smile lit up on Sasuke's face. Absorbed chakra is useless for Sasuke, but chakra devoured has this effect unexpectedly. That would be great. Sandstorm burial. Suddenly a terrifying roar sounded, and Sasuke squinted at Gaara, who was clapping his hands on the ground. Trouble. Susanoo. The sequel could explode in an instant, directly enveloping Sasuke and Onoki in it. Immediately afterwards, the sand all over the sky wrapped Sasuke's Susanoo. Gaara's veins exploded, and chakra exploded wildly. The horrific squeezing force was directly on Susanoo's body. An extremely loud roar could be clearly heard throughout the ground. He exhaled lightly. Terumi Mei on the side looked at Sasuke, who was wrapped in sand. Is it resolved? Solve? Gaara exhaled lightly. If it can be solved so easily, then it is not Uchiha Sasuke. A large area in front of you is completely buried by the sand of Gaara. Grandpa. Haitu and Kitu escaped the impact of the sand. Immediately prepared to rush to the place where Sasuke and Onoki were buried just now, trying to dig out third Tsuchikage. Gaara frowned, raised her hand and blocked the two of them with a piece of sand. Don't go. Haitu, who was blocked by Gaara, had a strong anger flashing in his eyes. Then he punched the sand to pieces. Get out of here. While talking, the roar suddenly sounded. Bang buzz. From the exploding sand, third Tsuchikage Onogi flew out directly. After seeing clearly that the person who flew out was Onoki, Kitu immediately jumped on it. Catch Onoki. However, Kitu, who caught Onogi, realized that Onoki had passed out. The chakra fluctuations on the body became very weak, and the chakra was almost completely consumed. At this moment, Sasuke, who slowly appeared in the sand, rose up from under the sand pile little by little. On her body, Susanoo violently peeled off the sand covering her head. Then go outside. Sasuke looked at Gaara not far away, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. Congratulations to host, who successfully mastered Blood Successor Elimination, Dust Escape. Blood Successor Elimination. Dust Escape, Stage 1. Although it is eliminated by Shueiji, it still needs continuous improvement to strengthen its power. Like the Blood Successor Limit, it needs to be promoted. Although the power of Dust Dungeon is very good, but for Sasuke, the most important thing is not Dust Escape. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 3%, 4 up pointing arrow. After absorbing Onoki's chakra, the nature transformation of the field attribute is directly increased by 80%. In addition to the original progress, Sasuke's soil attribute, nature transformation, directly broke through to level 4. This speed of progress is simply not too fast. The enhancement of the earth attribute nature transformation has also strengthened Sasuke's body. It can be clearly felt that the toughness of the body has increased, and every cell seems to become thicker. The breath is also much longer. This is the passive effect brought about by the upgrade of nature transformation level. The changes in Sasuke also made Gaara and others aware of it, and they always felt that Sasuke seemed to be getting stronger. The most direct feeling is that Sasuke's skin seems to have become more shiny. Damn. Bastard, what did you do to my grandpa? When everyone looked at Sasuke and dared not breathe, Haito rushed directly to Sasuke. The sudden attack of black soil made no one think of it. However, Sasuke didn't even turn his head, and a thunder burst out from his shoulder, instantly breaking through the rock covered by Hei+'s hands. Rock fist technique that broke the black soil. Immediately afterwards, he raised his hand and grabbed Haito's neck, and only then slowly turned his head to look at Haito. Haito wanted to struggle, but two black sticks pierced through her shoulders in an instant. The chakra in her body was disturbed, unable to continue to attack, and could only be held tightly by Sasuke. Chakra Devour, on. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 13% up pointing arrow, 4. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 16% up pointing arrow, 4. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 18% up pointing arrow, 4. In an instant, the nature transformation of the earth attribute began to increase again, and the smile in Sasuke's eyes became stronger. Can we continue? Different ninjas have different resolutions provided by Nengu. It turns out that not only Kage can improve the chakra of the earth attribute. There was a gleam in Sasuke's eyes. If that's the case, then Sasuke would love to ignite chakra's annihilation. An endless supply of chakra is no problem. However, compared to the improvement obtained by absorbing Kage's chakra, the improvement speed obtained by absorbing black soil chakra is very slow. Analyzing lava style. 6%, 8%, 0.14% and lava style. By the way, black soil is also a ninja of blood succession limit, and the escape technique he masters is lava style. Sasuke likes this escape technique more than dust escape. Let go of the black soil, what the hell is coming at me? Kitu put down the big wild wood in his hand, raised his hand and slapped the ground fiercely with both hands. The mountain shook suddenly, and the cracks raged toward Sasuke's direction rapidly. In the blink of an eye, an extremely amazing rock pillar exploded directly from the ground. Presenting a 45-degree angle, it hit Sasuke straight and fiercely. Sasuke's eyes flickered with a dark light. Susanoo instantly congealed an arm, and smashed the rock pillar directly with a punch. Before the shattered stone fell to the ground, Kaito directly took advantage of the rock to block his sight, and came to Sasuke, punching Susanoo who was protecting Sasuke. However, Sasuke could easily perceive the figure of this guy even though his vision was blocked. The moment Susanoo approached Kitu, he directly grabbed Kitu with his backhand. Immediately afterwards, the black rod shot out from Sasuke's hand pierced Akira's chest. Sasuke raised his universal pull and directly sucked the terracotta. He also grabbed Kaitu's neck with one hand. Chakra devouring, full firepower. Boom. A large amount of chakra crazily poured into Sasuke's body. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 33% up pointing arrow, 4. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 46%, 4. Earth Attribute Nature Transformation, 53% up pointing arrow, 4. Under the frantic devouring, the growth rate of the Earth Attribute Nature Transformation made Sasuke feel very satisfied. However, behind this moment, Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Mizukage Terumi Mei and others all shot. They would not watch Sasuke kill the three of Iwagakure just like that. Sweeping sand, accompanied by Temari's wind style, and two puppets from Kankuro's raid on the other side. At the same time, Terumi Mei's lava style is also sweeping, and the chakra shockwave released by Changwang double sword flounder. All of them hit Sasuke's back hard. Sasuke's eyes narrowed slightly. Annoying. Boom. Susanoo instantly expanded into a semi-full body form. Covered with Watengu's armor, the tyrannical chakra waves erupted. Beep. Buzz. Several attacks landed on Susanoo's body, and the smoke filled her immediately. The roar of the explosion sounded. Gaara and the others stared at Sasuke's direction. However, in the next second, a big purple hand instantly swung the smoke away. The intact Susanoo and Sasuke appeared in front of everyone. Kuroto and Kitu, who were held by Sasuke, seemed to have lost consciousness. Whoosh, two figures flew directly from Sasuke's direction. Gaara immediately caught the two with sand. Lay down. It was Haito and Kitu who were unconscious, and at this moment, Sasuke's momentum is even more astonishing. Soil Attribute Nature Transformation. Max, congratulations to host for upgrading the Soil Attribute Nature Transformation to the top level. Congratulations to host for mastering Lava Style. Blood Succession Boundary. Lava Style, Phase 1. Currently own Blood Succession Boundary. Sharingan, Stage 10. Wood Style, Stage 8. Ice Escape, Stage 1. Boil Style, Stage 1. Lava Style, Stage 1. Currently mastered Blood Successor Elimination. Dust Escape, Phase 1. Looking at the limit and elimination of the blood successors that I have now. Sasuke was in a very good mood. It seems that as long as he is willing, he will be able to become an almighty ninja in a short time. True God. The two of them are not in danger for the time being, but chakra has been sucked out and passed out. Gaara looked at the black earth and the red earth. He didn't understand why Sasuke could directly stun the two of them. But they choose to use this method. Could it be that Sasuke can get something by absorbing their chakra? But I don't feel how much stronger Sasuke's chakra has become. What on earth is it? Now it's your turn, Gaara. Suddenly Sasuke's voice sounded. Gaara's eyes shrank suddenly, and he controlled the sand to send Heishi and Jiu to a distance. When he turned his head, a large amount of sand surged up beside him. Gaara got up and stared at Sasuke. Bring it on. Uchiha Sasuke, I've been waiting for this for a long time too. Now that I bear the name of Kage, I will never lose to you. Even in terms of hard power, Gaara thinks that it is indeed inferior to Sasuke. But combat is never enough to just look at it. There are too many things to be tested in battle. So what if he is Sasuke if he cooperates properly? The same is not invincible. Gaara glanced at Kankuro and Temari at the side. Immediately, the two of them understood what Gaara meant, and in order to deal with Sasuke, the three of them specially came up with a set of tactics. And this set of tactics finally had a chance to be used today. The two directly distanced themselves from the left and the right. Looking at Temari and Kankuro who were throwing away towards the two sides, Sasuke didn't care at all, and his eyes were always focused on Gaara. Mizukage Terumi Mei at the side swallowed softly. Kage, what are you going to do? I will find a way to contain him, Master Mizukage. You and your people just need to find the right opportunity later, and giving this guy a heavy blow is enough. It doesn't matter if you can kill Sasuke, as long as you can severely injure Sasuke, then the next battle will be much easier. After speaking, Gaara didn't wait for Terumi Mei to reply. Straight up. Putting his palms together in an instant, chakra burst out crazily. Boom 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 boom. The vibrating ground began to roll up streams of sand one after another, forming sand cones one by one, and swept away towards Sasuke's direction. These things that resemble tentacles but are not tentacles, in Sasuke's view, have no power at all. Even if he was standing still, relying on Susanoo's strength, he could easily block these attacks. Bang bang bang. Sure enough, these attacks couldn't shake Sasuke at all. Even wanting to scar Susanoo couldn't do it. The moment Sasuke was about to strike, a gust of wind swept over. Beep. A gash was left directly on Susanoo's face. But it healed quickly. Sasuke turned to look in Temari's direction. Strong wind attribute chakra was brewing on her fan. Uchiha Sasuke. This time, we will wash away the shame you brought on Sanagakure. Shame? Sasuke frowned. Cluck cluck. The voice of the puppet is ringing. The sound came from the ground. Sasuke suddenly lowered his head. Next second bang bang. Two puppets appeared directly in front of Sasuke, and they unexpectedly came out of the ground. Sasuke's eyes narrowed slightly. The two puppets were exactly two of Chiyo's Kinmatsu 10 members. Sasuke frowned. Raising the left arm, the chakra of the earth attribute covers the whole body. Now it is the nature transformation of the soil attribute that has been raised to the limit. Even if it is just covering the whole body casually like this, it is not considered any special ninjutsu. The defense provided is not something that ordinary ninjas can break through, let alone the puppet's attack, which does not have any chakra. Dang dang. The golem's weapon rubbed against Sasuke's arm, sending out a stream of sparks. Kankuro froze for a moment. As this guy's body, is it made of iron? At this moment, Terumi Mei suddenly gasped. What a terrifying earth attribute nature transformation. Just relying on chakra covering the whole body, can it achieve such a pervert defensive effect? However, what was even more astonishing was that several chakra threads flew out from the fingertips of Sasuke's left hand, and landed directly on the two puppets. Although the puppet has been controlled, Sasuke is unable to snatch control, but interference is not easy. Originally, the next attack was to knock Sasuke out of Susanoo's protection, but the interference of Chakra's silk thread stopped the movements of the two puppets instantly. And the movement became extremely incoherent and smooth, and Sasuke kicked the puppet away with his random feet. At the same time, the puppet exploded and disintegrated directly in the air. Sasuke's power is not something a puppet can stop. Kankuro looked at Sasuke in surprise. This method of using the chakra thread to interfere with the puppet. But the upper-level puppet master can only do the lower-level puppet art. At the same level, it is impossible to interfere with success. Yet Sasuke did it. This also means, is this guy's puppet technique even stronger than his? Thinking of this, Kankuro feels incredible. How can this be? At this moment, the sand wrapped around Sasuke's feet. Sasuke froze for a moment. In the next second, sand grabs Sasuke and throws Sasuke out of Susanoo. Temari. Gaara growled. Temari, who had been waiting for a long time, directly waved the huge iron fan. Countless wind blades rolled out in an instant and directly enveloped Sasuke's side. When the chakra of earth attribute spreads all over the body, these wind blades can only cut Sasuke's clothes, but cannot hurt Sasuke's body. However, at this moment Mizukage Terumime's eyes shone with light. Sasuke, who is suppressed by wind style, is the best time for her to make a shot. Lava style, monster dissolving technique. Suddenly, a mouthful of terrifying solution turned into a big hand and grabbed Sasuke in the air. The next second Sasuke is wrapped in lava style. Even with Susanoo at the moment, play with lava style's terrifying corruption ability. It was impossible to defend at all, and at the same time Gaara's forehead burst out with blue veins. Countless sands rush directly to the sky, and the sands are directly wrapped outside the lava style. At the same time, in the next second, countless sand and iron floated up, forming sharp iron thorns, stabbing fiercely towards the middle. Master Sasuke. Bai looked at Sasuke, who was attacked by several people in a blink of an eye, and wanted to stop it, but it seemed too late. Boom. There was a deafening roar. Gaara let out a sigh of relief. This time, even you can never be intact, Sasuke. Looking at the sand iron that suddenly appeared, it turned into ferromagnetism, and it turned into thousands of roots piercing into it. Terumime's heart also twitched violently. Is this going to tie Sasuke into a hedgehog? With such a vicious method, it seems that Kage's hatred for Gaara is very strong. Terumime smiled helplessly. But it's no wonder, after all, Kage died once because of Sasuke. Now being able to live all depends on the amazing forbidden technique in the village. It's a pity that there seems to be no one who can perform this technique except Chio at the beginning. Otherwise, Sand Shinobi can also have a powerful forbidden technique. This time Terumime doesn't think that Sasuke will be safe and sound. No matter how strong he is, Sasuke must at least be injured. She is quite confident in her lava style, and no one can get out of it safely while being wrapped in lava style. Suddenly, a series of tiny white dots floated out from the layer upon layer of wrapped sand. And quickly gather in front of several people. In the blink of an eye, Sasuke's figure reappeared before everyone's eyes. Watching Sasuke reappear is a point of light. Terumime and the others were all stunned. They stared at Sasuke dumbfounded. How is this possible? What was this technique just now? Why was Sasuke able to get away directly? And it hasn't broken the sand of Fengyin yet. Looking at the surprised eyes of Gaara and others, Sasuke smiled. Dust Dungeon is also very useful. This ability to split one's own body and then reassemble is just like Logia's elementalization. Sasuke smiled. However, if it is attacked by something during the split, it will be quite uncomfortable. Even if someone directly intercepts a part, then the recondensed body will lose part of the body if it is not kept intact. But Sasuke also has Wood-style's super self-healing ability. This shortcoming also seems to be remedied. It's still not bad. Although Sasuke has not learned any ninjutsu of Dust Dun, Sasuke has mastered Dust Dun's nature transformation. Splitting is just the basic ability of Dust Dungeon, and it can be used without any special learning of ninjutsu. How did you do it? Why are you able to avoid all our attacks intact? Gaara's voice sounded. Sasuke looked up at Gaara in front of him now. He glanced at his own system. Analysis of Magnet Style. 36%. Magnet Style. Sasuke has already mastered 36%. If it is a little more, Magnet Style can also be mastered today. Even so, Sasuke will not waste time. Lightning Style. Lei Shun. Crack. In an instant, there was a terrifying roar of thunder. Sasuke came directly in front of Gaara. At the moment when Gaara's pupils shrank rapidly, Mizukage Terumime was still shouting, Kage, small. However, before the words were finished, 4 black rods penetrated Gaara's limbs at the same time. Directly freeze Gaara tightly. Grabbing Gaara's neck, Sasuke's eyes burst into light, and the power of the Sharingan erupted, and chakra devoured it. The chakra in Gaara's body flows frantically toward Sasuke. At this moment, Gaara felt as if his blood was being sucked away, and the powerlessness in his body suddenly increased. The strength disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye. Gaara could only glare at Sasuke. Analysis of magnet style, 49%. Analysis of magnet style, 53%. Analysis of magnet style, 68%. Sasuke is very satisfied with the leaping resolution. At the same time, wind attribute nature transformation, 15%, 3. Wind attribute nature transformation, 17% up pointing arrow, 3. Wind attribute nature transformation, 23% up pointing arrow, 3. This is also growing crazily, and this feeling makes Sasuke feel so cool. Let go of Gaara. Cluck cluck. The golem's voice sounded again, but this time it was 4 golems rushing towards Sasuke. The number doubled, yet Sasuke went completely without looking back. Lightning style erupted instantly, astonishing thunderbolts suddenly spread out, and several puppets who rushed towards Sasuke were instantly pierced by the thunderbolts. Kankuro's face is pale, and the puppet art he is proud of is so vulnerable in front of Sasuke. Give me. Let Gaara go. Temari's piercing voice sounded. Waving the huge iron fan in his hand. Wind style, Longloji. With the storm set off by the fan, Temari, who strengthens and allows ninjutsu to be used without seals, is not weak. Unfortunately, it was Sasuke. There is still one hand left to move, so Sasuke can easily deal with everyone present even without the pupil technique. Earth style, Earth flow wall. The moment the ninjutsu was activated, the ground around Sasuke suddenly rose. Under the horrified eyes of several people, it directly turned into an earthen house. Bang bang. Wind style falls on earth style and has no effect at all. Even leaving a scratch seems impossible. Temari was stunned by the earth style with such a terrifying defensive power. Inside the barrier, Naruto watched as Sasuke kept knocking a person unconscious. Although I don't understand why Sasuke insists on solving them by absorbing chakra, Naruto can't stand it anymore. The strength gap is too big. Sasuke dealt with them as if they were beating elementary school students. How long will Kurama be? Nine Tails, who is saving chakra, is also very impatient. Don't rush Naruto, you can't break this enchantment with a casual tailed beast bomb. Naruto looked at Sasuke outside the barrier, and the time passed by every minute. In less than a minute, successively Tsuchikage and Tsuchikage's guards, and now Gaara, Temari and Kankuro have nothing to do with Sasuke. If Gaara is dealt with, then naturally Mizukage Terumi Mei will be next. How could Naruto not be in a hurry? Really? Well, now it's time to start. Naruto, come on. Accompanied by Kurama's voice, Naruto cast a complete tail beast immediately. Open its mouth wide to gather the tailed beast bomb. At the same time, a crash sounded, and Sasuke's earth style was broken, but it was not broken from the outside, but from the inside. Gaara's body smashed through the wall and flew upside down, hitting the ground hard. Clatter, it kept sliding for a distance of tens of meters before slowly stopping. The storm destroyed the earth-style walls in an instant. Sasuke stepped out of it. There was a strong wind blowing around. Wind attribute nature transformation, 23%. 4 Congratulations to host for successfully mastering magnet style. Blood succession boundary, magnet style, phase 1. It's a pity that after absorbing Gaara's chakra, wind style can't reach ultimate, but don't worry, there is another Temari. At the same time, Sasuke also knew about the situation in the barrier. Couldn't you be a little quieter? Naruto. It's time to hurry up. Sasuke locked his eyes on Temari. Locked by Sasuke's eyes, Temari suddenly felt a cold sweat on his back. However, Sasuke didn't give her much time to react. The body flicker technique was launched directly, without giving Temari any chance at all. At the same time, while everyone else is focusing on Gaara, Sasuke grabs Temari again. Lightning style directly paralyzes Temari's body and cannot move. Chakra devours and activates. Sasuke, who absorbed chakra at breakneck speed, glanced at the system interface. Wind attribute nature transformation, 33%. 4 up pointing arrow. Wind attribute nature transformation, 36%. 4 up pointing arrow. Wind attribute nature transformation, 37%. 4 compared with absorbing Gaara's chakra. The improvement speed of absorbing Temari's chakra. Wind attribute nature transformation is not so obvious. But this speed is not bad. It doesn't matter even if absorbing Temari's chakra can't raise the wind attribute's nature transformation to the top. There is also a Naruto. Sasuke looked back at Naruto, who was accumulating chakra and condensing tailed beast bomb in the barrier. Naruto's chakra attribute is also wind attribute. Absorbing Naruto's chakra, Sasuke can enhance Ashura chakra through analysis, and of course can focus on analyzing the chakra nature transformation of wind attribute. So don't worry. Temari. Uchiha Sasuke, I'm fighting with you. Gaara fell. Temari was also caught by Sasuke. Kankuro went crazy in this situation. After all, the three are brothers and sisters who are related by blood. The last four puppets were dispatched at the same time, and under the control of Kankuro, they rushed towards Sasuke like four beams of light. Yet Sasuke didn't even look back. Shinra, Tianjong. In an instant of violent repulsion, the puppet that came directly burst out and flew out instantly. In the blink of an eye an astonishing storm formed. Kankuro tried desperately to save Temari, but before it even started, it was over. The destroyed golem instantly freezes Kankuro. Desperation made Kankuro suddenly fall to the ground like a walking dead. He stared blankly at the puppets that were completely useless. Could it be that the puppet technique is really completely useless? Sasuke didn't know how hopeless Kankuro was hit by himself now. Focus on the system interface. Wind attribute nature transformation, 85%, 4 up pointing arrow. At the 85% progress of the analysis, it finally stopped. At the same time, Temari's chakra is basically completely absorbed. Throwing Temari aside casually, Sasuke turned to look at Mizukage, Terumi-Mei, and Chojuro. As for White, it seems to be okay. Sasuke flew towards Bai quickly, and at this moment Terumi-Mei instinctively jumped away. However, as soon as he jumped away, he found that Sasuke's target was Shiro behind him. Bai. Hide away. However, before Terumi-Mei finished speaking, Sasuke grabbed Bai directly. Sasuke put one hand on Shiro's shoulder. Bai glanced at Sasuke, and the next second chakra devouring began. The progress of the water attribute nature transformation begins to increase. Sasuke looked at Shiro in front of him. Bai didn't make any struggling movements, and there was still Sasuke absorbing his own chakra. Although Bai doesn't know why Sasuke absorbs his own chakra, judging from the fluctuation of Sasuke's chakra. Sasuke has no shortage of chakra at all. But since Master Sasuke wants it, I feel very happy that I can help Sasuke Benkyo. Water attribute nature transformation, 56% up pointing arrow, 4. Water attribute nature transformation, 59% up pointing arrow, 4. Water attribute nature transformation, 64% up pointing arrow, 4. Water attribute nature transformation, 69% up pointing arrow, 4. The resolution provided by Bai was so high that even Sasuke was a little surprised. It seems that Bai has a solid grasp of the nature transformation of the water attribute chakra. Even without Bingdu's blood succession limit, he would still be an extremely good ninja. It seems that relying on Bai, Sasuke can easily make the nature transformation of the water attribute reach the top level. Sasuke turned his head to look at Terumi-Mei, who was going to save Bai. However, with just one look, Terumi-Mei immediately stood still and did not dare to move. But a voice sounded from the side. "Give it to me. Let go of Sister Bai." Boom. A ray of chakra light swept over. Sasuke frowned, raised his hand to seal the seal. Absorbed the chakra shock directly, turned his head and looked to the other side. The one who made the shot was Chojuro. Sasuke was a little surprised that the future Master 6th Mizukage dared to commit crimes against himself at this time. The corners of the mouth raised slightly, and Sasuke made a seal directly. Rat. Water style, water dragon bomb. Damn. Give me before Chojuro's second attack had time to explode. The stream of water condensed from Sasuke's side instantly formed a water dragon. It swept towards Chonjuro's direction quickly. Beep. The impact sounded, and Chonjuro was directly submerged by the water flow and hit the ground heavily. The roar sounded, and Shiro glanced at Chojuro with some worry. This kid is not bad. Sasuke didn't kill him either, he just made Chojuro quiet down a little bit. But at this time Ka. A more terrifying roar came from behind. Sasuke shook his head helplessly. At the same time, the system's notification tone also sounded. Water attribute nature transformation, max, boom. A deafening and terrifying roar erupted, and at the same time an incomparably dazzling light erupted in the 4 red flame formations. In an instant, Sasuke felt that the chakra in his 4 wood-style shadow clones was rapidly draining. In almost the blink of an eye the time will bottom out. Bang buzz. The barrier has been breached. Sasuke sighed helplessly. After all, my 4 red yang formation level is too low. 4 red yang formation, getting started. Sasuke has seen this technique on the Book of Seals long ago, but he has never used it. This is also the first time to use it. The level is naturally very low, and the power is pitifully small. It is not a strange thing to be able to be broken through. Boom. The light beam gathered by the terrifying chakra, the moment it broke through the barrier, struck straight in the direction of Sasuke. Sasuke disappeared instantly with Shiro. However, in the next second, the beam of light pierced through the sky and swept towards the direction of the bone forest. At this time, Tsunade, 4th Raikage and others who were fighting with Kimimaro and Shigego at the other end of the bone forest also felt a terrifying chakra fluctuation. Hastily retreated. Kimimaro and Chongo didn't hold back either, and evaded at the fastest speed. Next second. The light beam directly penetrates the bone forest, and everything along the way is instantly obliterated. The roar was constantly echoing in the ears. The ground cracked where it passed, and any objects blocking the route were instantly shattered. At this moment, everyone came back to their senses and looked at that ray of light. This is Tailed Beast Bomb, the door of 9 tails. Clouds of smoke rose in the distance. The huge mushroom cloud climbed steadily until several thousand meters into the sky. But at this moment, all the people were looking at the incomparably shocking explosion in the distance. That's the power of the 9 tails tailed beast bomb. Although the power is amazing, but what makes everyone more worried now is the situation of 9 tails, which can make 9 tails have to release tailed beast bomb to attack the enemy. Which means that something very bad may be in store for 9 tails. Tsunade flew towards the direction where the tailed beast bomb erupted immediately. Since the tailed beast bomb completely cleared this piece of bone forest, there is no longer any obstacle in going in that direction. At this moment, under the leadership of Mifune, the samurai from the Iron Country came towards Sasuke after bypassing the bone forest. However, the sudden tailed beast bomb left these warriors stunned. Mifune swallowed silently. The power of the beast jade is really terrifying. It's no wonder that the 5 major powers have to firmly hold the tail beast in their hands. Such power is indeed difficult to resist. Tsunade flew straight towards Sasuke. Kimimaro wanted to block at the first time, but Itachi blocked him. At the same time, Raikage, Darui, and Shi followed Tsunade and rushed towards Sasuke. Jongwoo made a move, but was blocked by a black flame. Itachi blocked the two with the fire of Amaterasu. And I controlled Susanoo to fly into the sky, chasing the direction of Tsunade and others. Both Kimimaro and Shigego frowned. These guys are all going to Sasuke-sama. Shigego glanced at Kimimaro. Let's go around quickly. Hearing this, Kimimaro shook his head. No. I don't know how much time it will take to bypass this black firewall. The time to support Sasuke-sama will be wasted. So Kimimaro is going to charge straight there. He glanced at Chongwoo. The bones grew rapidly, forming bone armor directly on the body surface. And then the ribs drilled out, forming a bone cage. Kimimaro grabs Shigego and throws him into a bone cage. The two rushed directly towards the wall formed by Amaterasu's fire. On the other side, after Sasuke dodged the tailed beast bomb, he let go of Shiro, who was already close to the limit. Water and soil. The nature transformation of the two attributes has now reached the full level. The rest of the wind is also close to the limit. There is also the nature transformation of the fire attribute. Now Sasuke's nature transformation of water, soil, and thunder has reached the top level. The changes to Sasuke are huge. Not to mention chakra, even the basic quality of the body has been strengthened several times. And now, Sasuke looked at Naruto, who came out from the barrier. Kurama Sage Mode is on. The powerful chakra wave spread again. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke, what the hell are you doing? Look around at the fallen people. Tsuchikage Onoki, Kage Gaara, and their guards, Black Earth, Red Earth, Tamari and so on. Naruto looked at Sasuke angrily. Your opponent is me. Take a shot at them and win them with your strength, will you feel proud? Does this count as provocative? Sasuke smiled. You don't need to know what I do. You just need to know. Now it's your turn, Naruto. Although the current Naruto Ashura chakra has not yet fully awakened, it is not bad to use Naruto's power to break through the wind-style chakra to the top. Sasuke shot. Naturally, Naruto couldn't be caught by Sasuke as easily as Gaara and the others. Rasengan appeared in an instant. To deal with Naruto Sasuke, can he use the sealing technique to absorb the seal? After all, Naruto's movements are many times faster than others. Cannot move while using sealing spell. If Naruto launched another attack at this time, it would be for nothing. Sasuke condensed the Chidori in his hands, and the black Chidori and the red Rasengan collided again. There was a roar. The two retreated at the same time. At the moment of retreating, Sasuke raised his hand to make a mudra. Boom. Accompanied by a silent recitation in Sasuke's heart. Boom. The detonating clay that was thrown by Sasuke at the moment of the fight turned into a little white snake and had already touched Naruto's feet silently. Although the explosion was not enough to hurt Naruto, it interfered with Naruto's induction for a moment. Beep. In the next second, Sasuke appeared with lightning flashing on his body, and punched Naruto directly in the face. The powerful impact made Naruto feel dizzy for a short time. In the next second, Sasuke directly grabbed Naruto's shoulder with both hands and fell over his shoulder. Beep. Naruto, who slammed hard to the ground, reacted and wanted to move. At some point in Sasuke's hand, he had regained his grip on the black sword Kusanagi. The black thunder on the blade kept wandering. A knife pierced directly into Naruto's stomach. Naruto, whose abdomen was penetrated, endured severe pain, and at the same time was paralyzed by lightning style. Sasuke put a hand on Naruto's brow. Chakra devour. Wind attribute nature transformation, 89%. 4 wind attribute nature transformation, 93%. 4. Absorbing Naruto's chakra, the increased progress rate is too fast. Surprised even Sasuke. However, even in the state of being paralyzed by lightning style, Naruto directly controlled chakra and turned into chakra's hand and grabbed Sasuke. Magnet style. In an instant, a large amount of sand surged around, directly blocking Naruto's chakra's hand. At the same time, they gathered towards Naruto's body. Sandbound coffin. Magnet style, sandbound coffin, introduction. I don't know how many times Sharingan has seen this technique. Before, there was no magnet style's blood inheritance boundary, so naturally he couldn't use it. But now with the support of blood succession limit, it is easy for Sasuke to perform ninjutsu. Although it's just the beginning stage, it's enough to trap Naruto for a while. At the same time Sasuke pressed one hand on the sand. Sealing technique. 8-sign seal. Added seal to suppress Naruto's chakra on magnet style. Sasuke continued to absorb, and at this moment, dense footsteps sounded in the distance. Sasuke frowned and looked up. In the distant forest, there are a large number of ninjas appearing. And the forehead protectors worn by these ninjas are obviously Cloud Shinobi ninjas. The number is probably no less than 10,000. Sasuke froze for a moment. What is Kage trying to do? Such a number of Cloud Shinobi must be arranged in advance, and the group can bring so many ninjas to this place. It is absolutely impossible to transfer temporarily. But Kage mobilized so many Cloud Shinobi, the original purpose could not be directed at himself. It should be aimed at 5 Kages meeting. Sasuke. Let go of Naruto. Suddenly, Tsunade flashed directly behind him, and punched Sasuke's back extremely violently. Susanoo. Crackling Sasuke's figure was ejected directly like a cannonball. But with Susanoo body armor, no injuries, but the impact is too strong. Sasuke landed and slid a distance of more than 10 meters to stabilize his figure. Slowly raised his head. A smile flashed in his eyes. Wind attribute nature transformation, max. Now it's just the last step. Watching Tsunade, movie, Uchiha Itachi, Darui, Shi et al. They all surrounded Naruto. Sasuke just smiled lightly. Naruto, are you okay? Tsunade asked. Naruto, who was just absorbed part of the chakra, shook his head slightly. For Naruto, the sucked chakra will be able to recover soon under this Kurama Sage mode. There is no need to worry too much at all. I'm fine. Said Naruto, looking at the unconscious Gaara and others. They were all sucked by Sasuke chakra. Be careful. Sasuke doesn't know why he has been trying to absorb other people's chakra. Absorb chakra. The chakra fluctuations on Sasuke are very strong, and it doesn't look like it lacks chakra. What does he absorb other people's chakra for? But since Sasuke is doing this, it is obviously impossible to be so simple. Nine Tails Jinchuriki is okay. Kage also asked. Tsunade nodded, no. Nine Tails Jinchuriki can't have any more accidents, otherwise our 5 major countries will not even have the last capital. Tsunade knows this kind of thing. Terumi Mei, who jumped over from the side, brought Shiro and Chojuro. You guys are finally here. Terumi Mei also breathed a sigh of relief. Facing Sasuke alone was simply too depressing. That breathless oppressive feeling, even if she is Mizukage, it is a bit difficult to overcome. Have Kage and Tsuchikage been killed? Asked Kage. Terumi Mei shook her head. It's just a coma, not life-threatening for the time being. In such a short time, our 2 shadows were eliminated. Kage clenched his fists lightly. Uchiha Sasuke. Such a powerful combat power really makes people feel frightened. And now Sasuke stared at them. But the eyes don't seem so frightening. Because Sasuke is staring at his system interface now. Chakra attributes. Water, max, fire, 65%, 3, thunder, max, earth, max, wind, max, yin, 31%, 3, yang, 8%, 3. In addition to the two attributes of yin and yang, the only thing left now is the chakra of the fire attribute. As long as the fire attribute is raised to the top level, then Sasuke will be able to complete the task and ignite the chakra flame. Have an endless supply of chakra. At that time, the strength will increase sharply again. Even facing Madara at the 6 paths level, there is no need to be afraid at all. At least in the protracted battle, Sasuke can also do not have to worry about the consumption of chakra. Thinking of this, Sasuke's eyes locked on Itachi. Among the group of people in front of him, Itachi is the only one who can make Sasuke improve the progress of fire attribute nature transformation. Hey! He grinned slightly. In the next second, Sasuke stepped on it suddenly. The figure rushed out, quickly darting in the direction of Tsunade and Kage. Naruto immediately raised his hands, be careful. Massive Rasengan. Buzz buzz. Rasengan appeared in an instant, and Naruto stood in front of everyone, as if he wanted to prevent Sasuke from attacking them. And at this moment Sasuke's eyes sparkled. A series of battles, Sasuke's own chakra has been consumed a lot, and now only 1/3 of the level is left. Of course, if it is consumed to this point, chakra's recovery speed will become very fast. But 1/3 of the amount of chakra, and 100% of the amount of chakra, the power brought is completely different. Sage transformation, on. Boom. Sasuke of chakra erupted in an instant, his hair turned gray in an instant, and then his skin also changed in color. Purple light erupted, and chakra flowed into a snake shape, wrapping around Sasuke. With the opening of the Mountain Man mode, now the pseudo has advanced humanization and entered the 3rd state. Turn on Sage mode, you can get the same chakra protection as Naruto. In an instant, the majestic chakra wave broke out, and the strong wind roared in an instant. At the same time, Sasuke raised his hand, black thunder emerged, and thousands of birds chirped for a moment. Sasuke rushed directly in front of Naruto and sent Chidori. ZZZ. Naruto was stunned. The scene where Sasuke turned on Sage mode made Naruto dumbfounded. This is... what Sage mode? Boom. The brain didn't have time to think at all, and directly collided with the Chidori with the Rasengan in his hand. The collision of the two forces, but this time Naruto felt the terrifying fluctuation. Chidori completely suppressed his Rasengan. The huge force caused Naruto to be blown out directly. In the shock wave formed by chakra's explosion, Sasuke rushed out at a faster speed. Tsunade watched Sasuke step forward, and directly punched Sasuke with his fist. Beep. Weird power fist. Grabbed by Sasuke with one hand, Sasuke looked at Tsunade coldly. In the next second, the purple chakra on his body turned into a snake shape, directly wrapped around Tsunade's neck, pulled her whole body and threw her backwards in an instant. There was an instant piercing sound, and Tsunade disappeared directly in front of his eyes. Kage and Mizukage on the side, the two have not had time to make a move. Sasuke's high-speed spinning motion never stopped. Spinning with both hands on the ground, one person directly kicked two people in the chest, kicking Kage and Mizukage out at the same time. Naruto, Tsunade, Kage, and Mizukage were in the air and hadn't landed yet. Now completely stunned by Sasuke's sudden outburst of terrifying speed and power. However, what shocked them even more was that Sasuke raised his hand to seal the first time the four were knocked into the air. The moment your finger points to Naruto, lightning style, discharge. An astonishing black thunder fell directly from the sky and landed on Naruto. Then his eyes turned to Tsunade. Earth style, earth flow big river. The muddy that exploded in an instant wrapped around Tsunade's body and directly dragged him into the quagmire. Immediately after Sasuke's head turned to Kage, the water surged. Water style, water dragon bomb technique. A ferocious water dragon appeared in an instant, and suddenly swept across the sky, biting the movie wolf's body and smashing it to the ground. The last Sasuke's right hand was aimed at Terumi Mei, who flew out. Countless sand rolled up out of thin air, wrapping Terumi Mei's body into a sandball in the air. Sand, bound, big. The four people were repelled in an instant, and it took almost a breath to release 4 different escapism attacks in succession. This wave of Sasuke's strong attack directly stunned the rest of the people. Even ferrets. Crackling. The sound of thunder and lightning. Boom. The sound of water crashing. Hush. The sound of mud rolling. Hum. The sound of sand shrinking and squeezing. 4 voices sounded almost simultaneously. At the same time, a black lightning flashed in the air like a thundersnake approaching at the speed of a person. Suddenly appeared in front of Itachi. Sasuke grabbed the weasel by the neck. The first time Sasuke caught him, Itachi was stunned for a moment, and didn't even think about fighting back. Because he doesn't think Sasuke will hurt him. And the next second Sasuke did not have any other actions, just started to devour his chakra. Fire attribute nature transformation, 69% up pointing arrow, 3, Sasuke, what are you going to do? Itachi, who was caught, although chakra was swallowed, he didn't feel Sasuke's killing intent. This made it even more certain that Sasuke had no intention of killing him. Just absorbing chakra. What's the use of chakra that can absorb himself for Sasuke? Sasuke smiled. Well, big brother, you don't need to know. Anyway, you want to protect your Konoha, and you can't do it now. You have to get stronger. While talking, Sasuke looked at the system panel. Fire attribute nature transformation, 74% up pointing arrow, 3. Fire attribute nature transformation, 81% up pointing arrow, 3. Fire attribute nature transformation, 93% up pointing arrow, 3. How long has it been, or the nature transformation level of the attribute is about to break through? Congratulations to host Fire attribute, nature transformation level up factory. Fire, 13%, 4, however, it continues to improve. It can only be said that it is Uchiha Itachi God. The attainment of fire style is not low, otherwise Sasuke would not be able to improve so quickly, but it seems impossible to break through to the top. After all, no matter how good Itachi's fire style attainment is, it's impossible to help Sasuke directly improve by 200%. At this time, Naruto, who broke free from the lightning paralysis, flew towards Sasuke like a rocket. Sasuke, what are you doing? He is your big brother, your relative. During the period when Itachi returned to Konoha, the closest person walking with Itachi should be Naruto. At first I just wanted to learn more about Sasuke from Itachi. But gradually Naruto found that Itachi also had a lot of helplessness in his heart, especially when facing the family and Sasuke, but these did not affect Itachi's love for Konoha. So Naruto also agrees with Itachi from the bottom of his heart. Now seeing Sasuke treat his big brother like this, he exploded immediately. No matter how you say it, Sasuke shouldn't treat his big brother like this. Shenra, Tianjung. An invisible force erupted, and the repulsion stared at Naruto's fist, and Sasuke looked back at Naruto, who was waving his fist and competing with his own repulsion. How I treat him is my business, no matter your business, don't bother me. Boom. Accompanied by the burst of power in Sasuke's pupils, the repulsive force also increased instantly, forcing Naruto back again. At this time, Tsunade was covered in mud, Kage, who was hit by the water dragon bomb and lightning style's power was greatly reduced, and Terumi Mei, who was squeezed by the sand-bound coffin and seriously injured. They all got away one after another and rushed towards Sasuke. Tsunade heals Terumi Mei. On the other side, Cloud Shinobi is also treating Kage's wounds. Master Kage. She had just witnessed Sasuke's terrifying combat power with his own eyes. He repelled the 4 of them in an instant, and also burst out an ninjutsu attack with the momentum of thunder. Suppress the 4. Launching 4 different types of escapism in an instant, this ability is probably the only one in the ninja world. And there is also Magnet Style from Sand Shinobi, which Uchiha Sasuke can also cast easily. What kind of monster is this? This kid's power is now even more terrifying than before. Kage frowned sullenly. Although he doesn't really want to admit it, Sasuke is definitely not the only one who can stop him now. Master Kage, judging from the current situation, we simply. While talking, Kimimaro and Shigego arrived. It fell directly behind Sasuke. Beware of Tsunade et al. I'm sorry Master Sasuke, let these guys sneak over here. Kimimaro apologized straight away as soon as he came up. But Sasuke shook his head nonchalantly. They leave from the sky, you two can't do anything about it. Don't worry, it's just some flies anyway. Think of Kage and Tsuchikage as flies. Chongwu smiled helplessly. I am afraid that in the entire ninja world, only Mr. Sasuke dares to say that. Boom boom boom. Suddenly a series of footsteps sounded. At this time Kage stood up proudly. While one person is no match for Sasuke, what about a group of people? A large group of people. Even if Sasuke is a god, at this moment Kage believes that Sasuke can be consumed to death. 10,000 Cloud Shinobi troops arrived. Originally Kage wanted to deal with Kage. But now it seems that it can be directly used on Sasuke, and it is also good to hold the hatred of Cloud Shinobi village. Terumi Mei and Tsunade glanced at each other. With so many ninjas suddenly appearing in Cloud Shinobi Village, it is obviously impossible for them to be mobilized temporarily after the war, from the Land of Thunder to the Land of Iron. Even if it flies over, there is no way to fly so fast, let alone so many ninjas. Apparently Kage prepared ahead of the talks. It's just that I don't know if he prepared it for Uchiha Sasuke or the Akatsuki organization, or for their 5 shadows. Uchiha Sasuke. Today. I want you to be unable to fly. Let's see how you escape. Cloud Shinobi Village's vengeance of a broken arm. I will get it back today. With the superiority in numbers, Fu Ying's aura also became tougher. Very arrogant. Even if 10,000 Cloud Shinobi keep their heads down and let Sasuke chop them off one by one, let him chop them for a while. Consumption can exhaust Sasuke. Kage doesn't believe that Sasuke is made of iron, chakra can't run out. But he ignored a problem. It is indeed difficult to kill tens of thousands of ninjas, even with Sasuke's strength. But it is not difficult for Sasuke to take the head of a person among thousands of troops. But Sasuke didn't intend to waste his energy at this moment. Master Sasuke, I will block these Cloud Shinobi ninjas. Speaking of which, Kimimaro seems to be planning to single out tens of thousands of ninjas alone. However, Sasuke stopped him. No more Kimimaro. Hearing that Kimimaro is a little confused, no need, what does it mean? Sasuke slowly let go of Itachi, and Itachi, who had absorbed almost 99% of chakra at the moment, seemed very weakened. He directly fell to the ground and looked up at Sasuke. Fire attribute nature transformation, 78% up pointing arrow, 4. Itachi directly increased Sasuke's fire attribute nature transformation to 78%. The distance to the breakthrough is only 22%, and Sasuke can complete this progress by himself. So there is no need to continue looking for fire attribute ninjas. And the moment the promotion is completed, there may be some amazing movements, and it is impossible to carry out the promotion in front of the public. So, time to go. Sasuke can't wait to return to the base now, to ignite the fire of chakra, and experience what an endless chakra is like. Turning to look at Kage there. Sasuke smiled, although I also want to try. What is it like to fight against a ninja army of 10,000 people, but let's stop here for today. Want to go? Kage froze for a moment, he thought Sasuke was scared. Do you think you can get away? It's not up to this guy whether he can go or not. Sasuke didn't intend to talk nonsense, and took one last look at Naruto. Grabbed Kimimaro and Shigego with one hand. Immediately after that, the hand power is launched. Swish. The 3 disappeared immediately. Watching helplessly, the 3 big living people suddenly disappeared directly in front of their eyes. This confused Kage. Even the Cloud Shinobi ninja troop, which had just gathered 10,000 people, was completely dumbfounded. The enemy. Why suddenly disappeared? But it seems that this is not the main goal of their mission this time. Their main goal should be 5 cages. Mifune looked around at the Cloud Shinobi troops. His face was a bit ugly, and even if he was stupid in this situation, he probably understood what was going on. These people were apparently arranged by Kage in advance. If it weren't for the sudden appearance of Akatsuki and Uchiha Sasuke. Facing these Cloud Shinobi ninja troops, I'm afraid it will be his Iron Nation samurai. But now it seems that he, Iron Country, has to face it. After all, the Akatsuki organization left, and Uchiha Sasuke also left. Now Kage has Cloud Shinobi's ninja army on his side. I am afraid that there will not be any fairness in this 5 shadow talks. Are you okay? Naruto came to Itachi's side and looked at Itachi, who was weak but not unconscious. Itachi nodded, I'm fine. As he spoke, Itachi glanced at the Cloud Shinobi ninja troops around him. It seems that the movie of Cloud Shinobi Village has been prepared for a long time. Are you ready? Naruto doesn't quite understand. What are you going to do? Isn't it good to be prepared? If it weren't for the appearance of these ninja troops, I'm afraid Sasuke would not leave easily. At the moment, Nagato, Konan, and Obito in the forest not far away are watching the ninja troops appearing. It looks like we've ruined Kage's good deed. Obito laughed. Konan and Nagato on the side also thought about it. Kage prepared so many ninja troops, did he really plan to attack other shadows at the beginning? If that's the case, wouldn't it be better if they didn't show up? In this way, you can watch the internal turmoil of the 5 shadows. At that time, it will be more beneficial for them. But no regret medicine. Let's go. Nagato said lightly, angrily, why don't you continue watching? Now go back and prepare for war. 5 cages can't afford to mess up now. With the pressure from both Akatsuki and Sasuke, no matter how idiot he is, he will not turn his face at this time. So don't think about civil unrest or anything. The current Raikage really won't do this, but instead ordered people to wake up Tsuchikage, Hefengi and Gaara. The medical ninja made a move, and the two shadows quickly came to their senses. It's just that after waking up, I looked at the situation here. The two also reacted immediately. If it wasn't for the sudden appearance of Akatsuki and Sasuke, they might have to face Raikage's strangulation. Of course, these things can only be tacit now, you just need to know it in your heart, you don't need to say it. The venue for the meeting had been destroyed, so 5 Kages could only sit on the ground in the open air. Mifune sat cross-legged across from the 5 of them, with a samurai sword in front of him, with his eyes closed and a gloomy expression on his face, not speaking. As a neutral country, it was not able to detect in advance that so many Cloud Shinobi ninjas were secretly sent into the country. It is his responsibility to threaten other shadows. But the current Mifune has no way to question Raikage. You can only express your dissatisfaction by keeping your mouth shut and silent. And the movie glanced at the others. The current situation is very serious. The establishment of the Ninja United Army is imminent. Uchiha Sasuke's strength has been clearly demonstrated, just one person, almost beat them 5 shadows so that they couldn't lift their heads. So uniting the power of all is a must. Otherwise, whether it is facing Sasuke who has too many uncertain factors, or facing Akatsuki, it will not be easy. This kind of thing doesn't need Raikage to say that other people know about it. Right now, because of the existence of the Cloud Shinobi Ninja Army, Tsunade and others did not answer Raikage at all. Just looked at him silently. Raikage didn't feel any embarrassment at all. Everyone, no matter what you think in your heart, at least now this old man is serious to join forces with you against the Akatsuki organization and Uchiha Sasuke. If you don't want to cooperate, just say so. Hearing that the other shadows are also very helpless, it is impossible not to cooperate. Don't talk. That's the default. The old man proposes that each village send 50,000 elite ninja troops, form a combined ninja army of 250,000 people to fight against the Akatsuki organization and Uchiha Sasuke. 250,000 people. 50,000 ninja troops. You must know that this number is very surprising for every village. Sanagakure, which has a relatively small number of chunin, probably has a total number of ninjas of about 60,000 to 70,000. That's an all-out effort. I agree. However, Gaara did not object, but was the first to stand up and agree. Sanagakure has no problems, other villages are even less likely to have any problems. After all, they still have 50,000 ninja troops. Although Uchiha Sasuke wants to challenge us, he is only one person, and he doesn't seem to want to get the tail beast, he just wants to keep the main house. Maybe Tsunade still wants to try to convince other shadows. Raikage frowned. It's impossible. The feud between Uchiha Sasuke and Cloud Shinobi will end sooner or later. Tsunade sighed silently. Seeing that she stopped talking, Raikage said directly, since the United Ninja Army is established, let's make sure. After all, this question still needs to be raised. Who should be the supreme commander of the Ninja United Army? Raikage asked the question, and the others all looked at Raikage. So that's what ambition is. Onoki stood up and lightly hammered his waist. Then Master Raikage will be in charge. Others glanced at Tsuchikage. Is this guy flattering? However, Tsuchikage curled his lips in the next second. It's just the supreme commander of the Ninja United Army. It seems that Tsuchikage just satisfies Raikage in this way, or an empty title. But even so, Raikage is very satisfied. The supreme commander just thinks this command. He needs this for revenge. Terumi may, then Raikage. Mizukage agrees. Gaara followed suit and nodded. I have no objection either. For Tsunade there is also no question. Yes. The United Ninja Army is established. Although the official establishment of the Ninja United Army, Wukage's current mentality is different from that in the original book. But this time the number of ninja joint troops can be said to far exceed the original. In the original book, there were only more than 80,000 ninja allied forces, but this time there are a full 250,000. Going back to Nagato at the Akatsuki organization base, listening to the leader talk about Gokage's situation. For 5 Kages to gather so many ninjas, although ordinary ninjas are not much of a threat to people like Nagato. But that's just because the number of people is not enough. Once a certain limit is exceeded, the horror of the number of people will be different. After all, ants kill elephants. Nagato doesn't think that he can kill all 250,000 people by himself. Facing so many enemies, even he might be exhausted to death. How many white Zetsu troops are there now? Nagato asked. Less than 80,000, Obito answered. This number sounds like a lot, but in fact, facing the combined ninja army of 250,000, it pales in comparison. First of all, the individual strength of white Zetsu is definitely not as good as that of the United Ninja Army. Secondly, there is no advantage in quantity, let alone. Nagato's complexion also became a little ugly. The current situation is not the best for Akatsuki. The tailed beasts and 3 tails and 9 tails were not captured. Whether it is capturing 9 tails or 3 tails, it is very difficult. Nagato kept silent and seemed to be thinking about something, but Obito smiled. Don't worry, we have pockets, and the ninjas from Impure World Reincarnation will become our powerful fighting force. Impure World Reincarnation? Conan looked up at Obito. How many ninjas can be reincarnated? Obito thinks that it is better to explain this problem by himself. The bag that came out from the dark corner looked at the people in front of him. That's a good question from Miss Conan. How should I say it? I think you should let you see for yourself. As he spoke, he turned around and walked towards the ground in a certain direction. And Obito and Wado followed up. Teondo Pain also suddenly appeared, and followed up with Conan. Came to another space in the Shao organization base. There are dense wooden coffins standing here one after another, and these wooden coffins are all open. Can clearly see the people inside. When entering here for the first time, Conan was stunned. Are these all? Turning around and smiling, he was very satisfied with Conan's reaction. This is what I want. That's right. These are all. Heaven Pain. How much can you control at once? All. What? Even Nagato can't calm down this time. With so many ninjas, can Kato control them all at once? Is this really possible? What you said is true? Teondo Pain looked at the pocket very seriously. To this, Do didn't open his mouth to answer, but just started to seal. Then all these wooden coffins began to vibrate, and almost everyone seemed to be waking up. But at this time, Do opened his mouth to speak. Now I have a huge fairy art chakra as a support, and I have improved the Impure World Reincarnation art to strengthen the constraints on these ninjas. Basically, it can be done in a real sense, allowing the summon to exert 100% strength close to the strongest state in life. Of course this is only relative, in fact nothing is 100%. So, Nagato raised his hand to indicate that there is no need to continue talking. Controlling Teondo Pain watched these ninjas. If there are really so many combat powers coming in, then face the United Ninja Army. Nagato defeated it with absolute confidence. In particular, what Nagato did not expect was that the legendary ninja from Konoha was also given to Impure World Reincarnation. This one alone, who can exert nearly 100% of his strength, is enough to deal with the Ninja United Army. Look in front of you, this one from Konoha. First Hokage. Senju Hashirama. Nagato's heart was already very excited. But now there is another problem. There are 80,000 white Zetsu troops in the coalition army, and with so much combat power, defeating them will not be a problem. But what about Sasuke? Uchiha Sasuke is 1 on 5, easily fending off Gokage, and can also fight 9 tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto. Nagato also saw that battle. While he's confident he can do it, it's 6 paths pain that counts. And Uchiha Sasuke is also a person with Rinnegan. And Sasuke's ability to use 6 paths is beyond doubt. In other words, Nagato's biggest trump card, Shinra Tenjin, is useless to Sasuke. And Sasuke also Grandmaster 5 Escape Ninjutsu, powerful escape, innumerable. Can deal with all kinds of emergencies. Moreover, Sasuke was able to easily copy the blood follower limit. Gaara from Sanagakure Kage, his magnet style was copied by Sasuke. There is also Iwagakure's third Tsuchikage, who claims to be above the limit of all blood successors, but was also copied by Sasuke. Facing Sasuke, who is stronger than himself in every aspect, it seems that his current strength is far from enough to snatch the 3 tails Jinchuriki from Sasuke. And not to mention Sasuke, just 3 tails Jinchuriki is not weak. Dead Bone Pulse cooperates with Tailed Beast Chakra, and its fighting power is not weaker than any shadow. Even in terms of physical skills, I am afraid that Kimimaro will even surpass Raikage. Plus Sasuke has a Shigego, and also has Orochimaru to help. It is harder to catch the 3 tails Jinchuriki than the 9 tails Jinchuriki. So, Nagato must find a way to become stronger. And now, there is only one way left for Nagato. Tail Beast. I also have to become a Jinchuriki to be eligible to fight Uchiha Sasuke. Among the many tailed beasts, although there is no so-called absolute strength, compared to 9 tails, Chakra has the most. There is no doubt about this, and apart from 9 tails, 8 tails is the scariest one in terms of Chakra. So, I will do 8 tails Jinchuriki. Once it becomes 8 tails Jinchuriki, then when it's time to seal the tailed beast, pull 8 tails out of the body. Nagato will die. But, with the physique of Uzumaki's family, out of 8 tails, Nagato may still have a few minutes. In these few minutes, Nagato may be able to use it to fulfill his wish. Thinking of this, Nagato controlled Teondo Pain and turned to leave. Then get ready. The real ninja war is about to begin. This time, I have to win, for Yahiko, for the world, and bet my life, Uzumaki Nagato. I will do it. At this moment, Obito looked at the figure of Teondo Pain leaving. Suddenly it seemed a little weird. Nagato seems to have made a certain decision in his heart. Impure world reincarnation, has it given you enough confidence, Nagato? It seems that your thinking is different from the original. But it doesn't matter. Obito looked at the last position of these wooden coffins, the one that hadn't been opened yet. The person inside is none other than Uchiha Madara. With Impure World Reincarnation's Madara, no matter what the hell Nagato wants to do, the final plan can still go according to their original idea. It doesn't matter even if Nagato doesn't want to revive Madara. Thinking of this, Obito is also looking forward to it. The former enemies, Madara and Hashirama, are now joining forces to fight. This is interesting. I don't know what kind of sparks will be created between the two at that time. According to the current speed, the Ninja Alliance army is assembled, and the White Zetsu army is also mobilized to reach the designated target location. Then the time is about a week or so. 7 days later, the Fourth Ninja World War begins. Obito moved his body slowly, he also needed to make some preparations. A Sharingan is indeed too weak in combat, and he also needs to strengthen himself a little bit. The Akatsuki organization is now intensively preparing for the next big battle. And at the same time, in Yinren village, Orochimaru looked at Sasuke in front of him. I didn't expect Mr. Sasuke to directly declare war on the 5 great nations in the Akatsuki organization. The 5 major countries are mobilizing ninja troops. It is estimated that there will be more than 100,000 ninja troops in the joint 5 countries. Sasuke-kun, do you want me to lend you the ninja troops of Itonin village? Although there are not many people, there are more than 5,000 people. For a ninja army in a small country, having so many people is considered pretty good. Still too little for Sasuke. Besides, Sasuke doesn't worry about this problem now. What Sasuke wants now is to ignite the fire of chakra. Ninja troops? Does Sasuke need this kind of thing? A man is an army. As long as the fire of chakra is lit, Sasuke is not only an army of ninjas, but a single person is enough to destroy the entire world. Endless chakra. Even a tailed beast needs time to restore chakra, Sasuke doesn't need it at all. At that time, Sasuke was more like a tailed beast than a tailed beast. Now I don't think about this issue for the time being, there is still time anyway. Sasuke walked towards the training ground. Looking at the direction Sasuke was walking, it was obvious that he planned to continue practicing. This is the time to practice. Sasuke-kun, are you planning to hold your feet for a while? In 7 days, I'm afraid that both the United Army and the Akatsuki organization will be almost ready. Don't you really plan to make any preparations, Mr. Sasuke? Orochimaru is still talking, but Sasuke has disappeared. Come to the practice field. Sasuke seals directly. Shadow clone technique. Bang bang. 5 clones appeared, Sasuke looked at them. Sasuke has never used Shadow Clone to practice. First of all, it is unnecessary. The second is that Shadow Clone does consume chakra, and the same is true for Sasuke. Secondly, the practice of using Shadow Clone is not an ordinary burden on the body. But now it's time to give it a try. Although there is no 9 tails in Sasuke's body to help restore the body. But now the wood-style blood succession limit has been raised to the 8th stage, it should be able to withstand this load. 5 avatars plus Sasuke himself, the power of 6 people practice fire attribute nature transformation together. Plus Sasuke's own terrifying talent. Fire attribute nature transformation, even if it has reached level 4, the speed of improvement is still not slow. But, after going on for an hour, Sasuke took back the clone, and the moment Shadow Clone took it back, it brought a terrible burden to the body and mental oppression. It did make Sasuke almost feel what is called a direct collapse. Fine. Only 5 Shadow Clones can afford it. If there is more, I am afraid it will not be so good. Fire attribute nature transformation. Max, congratulations to host for completing the mission, Chakra's ultimate. Reward. Chakra Fire Boom. For a split second Sasuke hadn't had time to breathe a sigh of relief. In the next second, the chakra all over his body seemed to be sucked away. Feeling drained for a moment. Let Sasuke's body almost twisted. And all the chakras gathered towards the heart. After experiencing the feeling of pumping all the chakra for a moment, there is a sudden burst of chakra. Flooded all over the body. And the burst of chakra is not just filling the whole body. Instead, it spreads crazily towards the outside of the body, the chakra that surges like a tide. Wave after wave. Sasuke could clearly feel a flame burning in the heart. And the chakra released by the burning flame is endless and inexhaustible. It seems to be connected to an endless universe. This allows Sasuke's chakra to be completely unscrupulous. However, the fire of chakra only represents the endless stream, but it does not represent the chakra that Sasuke can use at one time. Sasuke's chakra volume is also skyrocketing. It has almost come to 12 times the original. The system's original evaluation of Sasuke's chakra volume has been upgraded to the 6 paths level. Chakra amount. 6 paths, elementary, 100 times the strongest Kage level ninja chakra amount. Now, however, the level has risen again. Chakra amount. 6 paths, advanced. Beyond the amount of chakra-tailed beast, humanoid-tailed beast. The amount of chakra has been raised to the advanced level of 6 paths, and the current chakra amount has increased so much by, and it is due to the fire of chakra. Let Sasuke have an endless amount of chakra. The current self alone is enough to destroy the world. But the power is there, but correspondingly, there must be a way to explode this level of power. And the so-called method is nothing more than ninjutsu. Now Sasuke feels ready to give it a try. With unlimited chakra as protection, then you can go crazy. Shadow clone technique. Dozens of shadow clones split out in an instant, and with the appearance of shadow clone, the smile on Sasuke's face gradually became crazy. Let's start with wood style. Raise wood style to the 10th stage, and then various ninjutsu, sealing art, body art, etc., all of which will be raised to the ultimate level. The almighty ninja is coming soon. Now Sasuke's wood style blood succession limit has been raised to the 8th stage. This level of wood style, whether it is defense, attack, or self-healing, has brought Sasuke a huge improvement. And it will naturally become even more terrifying when it reaches the 10th stage. These shadow clones now have the chakra fire as their backing. Even if the avatar is lifted, it can rely on wood style's self-healing ability, coupled with the yin-yang escape technique, supported by endless chakra. Rapid recovery, relieve body fatigue. Using shadow clone to cultivate, this plugin can be regarded as completely opened. With the blessing of shadow clone, the speed of cultivation is as terrifying as riding a rocket. Just under half an hour. Let Sasuke feel what is truly terrible. Congratulations to host. Wood-style blood succession boundaries successfully advanced to the 10th stage. At the moment of completing the promotion, Sasuke felt that every cell in his body transformed into a sponge with an amazing water absorption capacity from the top to the bottom. Absorbing the chakra in his body crazily. Had it not been for to ignite the fire of chakra and get unlimited chakra. I'm afraid that under such a suction, Sasuke would have been directly sucked dry. The more chakra absorbed, the stronger the vitality of the trapped cells. At this moment, if someone looks at Sasuke, they will find that Sasuke's body seems to be glowing. The whole person exudes a faint gleam. When the light is surging, a wonderful fluctuation is constantly surging. Feeling the transformation of his body, Sasuke had a smile on his face. However, at this time, the sound of the system sounded again. Peak elevate yin-yang nature transformation to top level. Each time the level is increased, the improvement of yang dun can increase the physique once, and the improvement of yin dun can obtain the enhancement of mental power once. Reward for completing the mission, blood of Akatsuki. Anymore. The task of reaching the peak is not a bad name. But the reward of the mission is the blood of Akatsuki. Is this to turn yourself into a family of Akatsuki? Needless to say how strong the Akatsuki family is, they are born with strange power. Freedom to control chakra. Although humans in the ninja world have chakra for some reasons, and have developed such things as ninjutsu. But the power of the Akatsuki clan should not be underestimated. If able to have the blood of Akatsuki for Sasuke, the power will become more terrifying. Moreover, Yin Dun and Yang Dun are originally Sasuke's next plan to upgrade. Every time you upgrade a level, you can also gain physical strength and mental strength. Such things are indeed very good. Sasuke raises his hand to make a mudra, shadow clone technique. Hundreds of clones are created in an instant. Wood style is 10 stages. Sasuke can try to practice with more clones. Start with 100 clones. It is very difficult to upgrade the normal 5 escape chakra nature transformation, let alone vaginal and yang escape. Even with a cultivation plugin like Shadow Clone, I am afraid it will take a little time. But at the same time, Sasuke also wants to upgrade all his ninjutsu to ultimate. Ultimate level ninjutsu has a very different power. Own now owns the fire of chakra, commanding endless chakra. If there is no such ninjutsu to burst out the power, it is equivalent to having the highest combat power, but there is no means to explode the combat power. That was too speechless. 50 clones are separated to improve each ninjutsu. Of the remaining 50 clones, half are used to practice Yang Dun and the other half are used to practice Yin Dun. Fight for 3 days to directly upgrade Yin Yang Dun to the top level. No matter how difficult Yin Yang escape is, with so many clones, 3 days is enough. Now Yin Yang Dun is a 3rd level nature transformation, and it is only 2 levels behind to upgrade to 5th level. The clones act according to Sasuke's will, and this time Kimimaro walked into the training ground. When seeing so many clones practicing for the first time, Kimimaro froze for a moment. He also knows about using Shadow Clone to cultivate. But no one has ever dared to do it. One must know that the more experience these avatars have accumulated in cultivation, the stronger the impact the caster will have to suffer at the moment when the avatar is released. It may even lead to immediate death. That's why Shadow Clone is listed as a type of forbidden technique. Kimimaro, what do you want? In general, Kimimaro and the others can't bother themselves. At this time, Kimimaro's coming in means that the other party should have something important to speed up his own. Sasuke asked. And Kimimaro took a look at these shadow clones of Sasuke. Master Sasuke, you use so many shadow clones to cultivate, although the cultivation speed is very fast, but I'm afraid of your own body. Don't worry, if there is a problem, I won't do it. Sasuke spoke confidently. In the past, Kimimaro would not doubt Sasuke's words, but this time it was different, but Sasuke's appearance made it difficult for him to continue to persuade him. Master Sasuke, please be careful, the number of clones may be appropriately reduced. Hearing this, Sasuke just smiled and didn't plan to continue talking on this issue. Indeed, Kimimaro is not to blame for this kind of desperate behavior. You came here, not just to say this. Hearing this, Kimimaro recalled the information he had just received. I just got the information that the 5 major ninja countries have begun to mobilize ninjas. Mobilize ninjas? Is this ready to start preparing for Ninja World War? Sasuke nodded. How many ninjas did they mobilize? Each village has 50,000 ninjas, a total of 250,000 ninjas. 250,000. This is 3 times more than the 80,000 people in the original work. It seems that the 5 major countries are preparing to go all out. Alone, although the combat power is comparable to an army of ninjas, but facing such a huge crowd of enemies, if the time comes, you will be bored to death if you are not exhausted. It seems that we have to think of a way, otherwise so many enemies are like 250,000 flies, although there is no threat. But there are too many of them, and it will bother Sasuke very much. Master Sasuke, Master Orochimaru has mobilized the ninjas of Itonen village. Although there are only 5,000 people, they may be able to help Master Sasuke. 5,000 people. Sasuke frowned. Suddenly Sasuke had an idea. There are many enemies? Is there no one left for Sasuke? If Sasuke didn't dare to say it before, but now he has the fire of chakra, endless chakra, and as long as the mental power is enough. Sasuke also has as many people as he wants, and it is also a very scary monster army. Master Sasuke, although I have great confidence in your strength, the number of the combined ninja armies of the 5 major countries is indeed. It is indeed a bit too much. Even if Kimimaro now thinks of the ninja troops that are overwhelming like locusts. Immediately felt some scalp numbness. Even if there are 250,000 locusts, it is already a headache. Not to mention the ninja army of 250,000 people. That combat power is not at the same level at all. Even if it takes 3 days and 3 nights to kill, it may not be able to kill cleanly. In this case, Sasuke is just one person, even with Shigego, Junma, Gurren, Suigetsu and others. There were only 4 or 5 people. How can these people compete with hundreds of thousands of ninja troops? Although Kimimaro is not afraid, he is not an idiot either. Once surrounded, he wants to escape from so many ninjas. That's a pretty difficult thing. If you want to kill so many ninjas without running away, even if chakra is not exhausted to death, you will be exhausted to death. When the number of ninjas reaches a certain level, it is also a nightmare. Wasn't 3rd Raikage, who was stronger than Cloud Shinobi Village, also died of exhaustion in the end. Although it was claimed that there were 100,000 Rock Shinobi at the time, in fact there should not be that many. But even so, it also proves a truth, no matter how strong a person is, he will get tired. In the face of crowd tactics, there will always be times of exhaustion. Kimimaro's worry Sasuke is naturally also clear. Without lighting the fire of chakra, there is no endless supply of chakra. It is impossible for Sasuke to be stupid enough to confront so many people. If you really do that, then it's not arrogance, but stupidity. Stupidity and arrogance are 2 concepts. Do you think I'm alone? Hearing this, Kimimaro was stunned for a moment. Sasuke was certainly not alone, at least they were standing behind Sasuke. But even if he risked his life, Kimimaro didn't dare to pat his chest and say that he could wipe out these ninja troops for Sasuke. After all, the number is simply too much. Master Sasuke, no matter what, I will always stand by your side. I hope that Master Sasuke will not underestimate you. I didn't underestimate the Ninja United Army. Under such a sea of people tactics, even a god might be pulled down from the altar. Not to mention me. Saying that, Sasuke raised the corner of his mouth. Besides, I also have an army. Kimimaro does not deny this, although the number of ninja troops in Itonen village is only 5,000. But this amount is also very good, at least it can guarantee the power to fight. My ninja troop. Take it with you. Saying this, Sasuke raised his hand and chakra silk thread emerged, and then wood-style vines appeared in front of Sasuke's eyes instantly, directly forming wood-style puppets. Not the wooden golem, but the golem. A puppet made instantly by wood-style. The chakra silk thread fell on these puppets, and immediately these puppets became active. With Sasuke's chakra control level, plus the already mastered red secret skills, Sasuke can easily shoot hundreds of chakra threads with one hand. Hundreds of puppets are controlled, and these puppets made of Sasuke wood style, once infused with chakra, are as strong as steel. Looking at it, he controlled a century puppet in an instant. Kimimaro admired Sasuke's puppet technique, but 100 people. This number is still too insignificant compared to 250,000. But it is true that as Master Sasuke said, Sasuke alone is equivalent to a ninja army. And it is an elite ninja squad that maintains a 100-member staff anytime, anywhere. Sasuke looked at the chakra silk thread in his hand and made a wood-style puppet in wood style, and there was no problem with this idea. The wood-style puppets produced are astonishingly hard, even because the limit of their wood-style blood succession has been raised to the 10th stage. As a result, the attack power of these wood-style puppets is amazing. As long as chakra is injected, Sasuke's chakra flows in the bodies of these wood-style puppets, even as smoothly as flowing in their own bodies. But in quantity, indeed not enough. Continue to upgrade the puppet technique, can you? Sasuke thought to himself. For this question, there is no doubt that as long as the level of puppet art continues to be improved, the number of puppets controlled will definitely increase. It is not even a problem to break through 1,000 people in the end. But even if you control 1,000 puppets, compared with the 250,000 ninja coalition army, it is still a drop in the bucket. Sasuke suddenly felt depressed. It seems that the idea of forming an army alone seems to be etc. Control. Sasuke suddenly thought of a question. Puppetry controls wood-style puppets, the limit is about 1,000. But what if you don't use puppetry? Use shadow clone. It's not very realistic either. Could it be that there are hundreds of thousands of clones? Sasuke possesses the fire of chakra, but he is not yet a god. The moment so many clones are released, Sasuke may explode directly. Doppelgangers won't work, it has to be a wood-style puppet. But if you don't use puppetry to control wood-style puppets, you have to change a method, a way that can control more wood-style puppets. And suddenly, Sasuke thought of something, raised his hand and shot a black stick directly, piercing into the body of the nearest wood-style puppet. And when the black rod pierced, the wood-style puppet received Sasuke's chakra and stood up directly. And start to act according to Sasuke's will. This control method is Nagato's method of controlling 6 paths pain. But Sasuke controls wood-style puppets. Nagato, on the other hand, controls corpses. Things like puppets are much easier to control than corpses. Furthermore, these wood-style puppets were made by Sasuke's wood-style blood successor limitation. The power that belongs to Sasuke is easier to control. The first wood-style puppet stands up. Sasuke has a role to play. Immediately after, a series of black sticks were shot out, and soon wood-style puppets stood up one after another. 100 golems is not Sasuke's limit, keep going. On the other hand, Kimimaro looked at the ever-increasing army of wood-style puppets in front of him. He froze immediately. What is this operation? Can it still be like this? These wood-style puppets, why? All of a sudden they can move. What is that black thing? Master Sasuke controlled these puppets with this thing. After the number of wood-style puppets increased by 500, Sasuke stopped holding the handle. Is the limit number 500? Although controlling these wood-style puppets is easier than controlling corpses, and Sasuke is far stronger than Nagato in mental power, he can transmit chakra to 500 puppets at the same time. It also almost made Sasuke himself, without any energy to release any ninjutsu. It's not working at all. Sasuke, who stopped, suddenly looked back at the clones who were practicing. Suddenly the corners of his mouth raised slightly. Show a weird smile. It seems that a solution has been found. Sasuke's shadow clone sits cross-legged on the ground with eyes closed, hands in mudra. Controlling chakra is spread over 500 wood-style soldiers. However, maybe the clone's control is not as good as Sasuke's body, and the 500 wood-style soldiers look crooked as if they are about to fall down. Had no choice but to reduce some quantities, after reducing the number to 300. Barely able to reach the same level of control as Sasuke himself. As long as there is no situation and the avatars are not blown up, then one can be controlled. Here is an explanation. These clones are just shadow clone, they are not wood-style shadow clone. So it's just a pure energy body, does not have a real type. And the purpose of doing this is to be able to create more clones to a greater extent. The current ratio is 1 to 300. In other words, one shadow clone can give Sasuke 300 wood-style soldiers. Then 100 shadow clone is 30,000 wood-style soldiers. 1,000 shadow clone can have 300,000 wood-style soldiers. This amount is quite terrifying, but there is one more problem. 1,000 shadow clone is not a big problem for Sasuke though. After all, Naruto has hundreds of clones appearing at every turn. For Sasuke, said it was just a shadow clone. If it is not used for cultivation, thousands of shadow clones are easy. But the problem is, chakra has the distance to transmit and receive over the black rod. It's only just reached 1,000 meters. A distance of 1,000 meters seems to be a long way, after all, it is a straight line distance. But on the battlefield, this straight line distance is nothing. At the same time, it is impossible for Sasuke to let 1,000 shadow clone run after him. It is no longer possible for the shadow clones who are in a state of extreme control to control their bodies with one mind and two minds. So, have to stay still. If you reduce the number of controls as appropriate, shadow clone is able to move, but follow the control of wood-style soldiers to fight. It is inevitable to be hit by waves. If White Zetsu finds out, then a surprise attack, shadow clone dies suddenly, and wood-style soldiers are directly scrapped. Isn't that funny? Therefore, it is more important to find ways to increase the distance of chakra transmission. And this problem, Sasuke is naturally unable to solve. But there are professionals. Chakra transmission? This thing can transmit chakra? Orochimaru looked at the black stick in his hand in surprise. Sasuke pointed to the black stick, pierce it into your own palm, and you will understand. Hearing this, Orochimaru followed Sasuke's words without any hesitation. At the moment of piercing, Orochimaru froze for a moment. Indeed, this thing can teleport chakra. Orochimaru looked at the black stick in his hand in great surprise. This stuff is great for him. I need a large chakra teleporter, ideally able to spread tens of thousands of meters away. The question made Orochimaru frown. How far is the teleportation distance now? 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters, to be enhanced to tens of thousands of meters. Does this mean to increase the distance by dozens of times? Can it be done? Orochimaru smiled. It's not a particularly difficult problem, but I have to study a little bit. Can it be done in 3 days? Sasuke continued to ask. However, upon hearing this, Orochimaru's complexion was not so good. 3 days. That means that this is a very difficult challenge. But look at Sasuke's eyes. Orochimaru nodded, no problem, but I wonder, what are you going to use this to teleport chakra for? Hearing this, Sasuke smiled and signaled Tianxia to wait. Soon there were dense footsteps in the passage. Next second, a large group of wood-style soldiers rushed in. Orochimaru looked at these wood-style soldiers for the first time, not paying too much attention. However, when looking at the black sticks on these wood-style soldiers, immediately Orochimaru understood. This is. Sasuke looked at the wood-style soldiers. Each shadow clone can control 300 of these wood-style soldiers. Needless to say, Orochimaru looked at Sasuke in surprise. Is this intended to create an army of wood-style soldiers? And it's just relying on the strength of one person. Such a crazy, such a whimsical idea, it's awesome. Orochimaru was so excited that he was about to explode on the spot. Unknowingly, he stuck out his tongue. Don't worry, Mr. Sasuke, in 3 days, I will definitely create a transmission device that can cover tens of thousands of meters for you. However, I hope you can give me more of this thing. Black stick? How much does this thing cost, Lieutenant Commander? One after another, black sticks appeared in Sasuke's palm, and Orochimaru filled the entire laboratory with black sticks almost in the blink of an eye. Get out of Orochimaru's lab. Sasuke thought of the second question. Another question about shadow clone and ontology. There is no problem with the idea of using clones to control puppet soldiers. But if the main body wants to fight, the avatar will not have any problems without using the fairy art mode. Once entering the fairy art mode, the avatar will be disturbed by the chakra of the main body and disappear directly. And use the avatar after turning on the fairy mode. Then once Sasuke needs to use the spell that can only be activated when the fairy mode is turned off, the clone will also disappear. Although this problem is not a big problem, it also needs to be considered. In case there is such a situation that you have to turn on or turn off the fairy art mode, how should you deal with it? When walking towards the training ground, Sasuke felt the training of the clones. The power of Yin Dan and Yang Dan is slowly increasing. However, the closer the distance, the more obvious it becomes. Keywords. Distance. If the main body keeps a sufficient distance from the shadow clone after leaving the clone, will it still affect the clone? In the original book, Naruto removed the celestial avatar and used reverse summoning to summon the avatar back from Mount Myoboku, and obtained the celestial chakra. From this point of view, distance or space can isolate the mutual influence between the main body and the avatar. If this is the case, then once the wood-style soldiers start to move, then you must keep a far enough distance from the shadow clones, so that they cannot be affected by the fluctuation of chakra on your body. Only in this way can we ensure that the avatar will not have any problems. So in the end it's up to Orochimaru. If chakra is transmitted far enough, then this problem can be solved. But if there is really no other way, the only way is to use the big move to clean up the miscellaneous soldiers. Although it may delay a lot of time in that way, it is not impossible. The level of ninjutsu also needs to be brushed up. Sasuke entered the training ground and looked at the avatars who were practicing various ninjutsu. With these clones, it shouldn't be a problem to brush up all kinds of ninjutsu to the ultimate level before the ninja war begins. Congratulations to host, the level of Yindan nature transformation has been improved. Yin, 0%, 4 up pointing arrow, congratulations to host, the level of Yangdan nature transformation has been improved. Yang, 0%, 4T, acquisition, physical enhancement. Acquisition. Spiritual strengthening. Suddenly Sasuke felt as if his body was being swallowed by flames, burning crazily inside and out. However, although this feeling is like a flame burning, but there are only two words for the strange feeling brought to Sasuke: comfort. Incomparably comfortable. From the soul to the body, I feel very comfortable. The feeling that I never had before. Wait until this feeling is gone. Sasuke slowly opened his eyes, feeling his body. The strength has increased a lot. At the same time, the skin faintly exudes a golden luster, as if he has cultivated an indestructible body. But now it should not be called King Kong is not bad. In the original book, after Otsutsuki Tauya devoured the golden ritual, the state opened and the body he possessed are really golden. And now, at best, his physical toughness surpassed that of ordinary people. But know that if on this basis, a layer of chakra with soil properties nature transformation is covered, then the defensive power can indeed be called directly full. At the same time, the enhancement of mental power made Sasuke feel more timely. Clone can also control more wood-style soldiers. The increased mental power at this time will be of great help to Sasuke. In less than a day, relying on the shadow clones, we can reach this level. It seems that if you want to be promoted to the top level, you can complete it in less than 2 days. As he said in his heart, a smile appeared on Sasuke's face. And now other ninjutsu, the level is also improving. Fire style. They have already been promoted to the top level, but Sasuke will not be satisfied with this. Sasuke has mastered all the fire style in the sealed book and the fire style ninjutsu collected by Orochimaru. And all of them have been upgraded to the ultimate level. And now, lightning style, water style, wind style, earth style. There are also 4 elements of escapism. It can be said that Sasuke has already started to learn all the ninjutsu that appeared in the original book. For the rest of the time, the 4 elements of escapism must also be mastered, and by that time, it can be said that Sasuke is a veritable complete ninjutsu. Not to mention 100% of ninjutsu, basically 80% of ninjutsu, Sasuke knows, and all of them have been upgraded to the ultimate level. And now, Sasuke has even crazier ideas. Wood style, shadow clone. Unlike ordinary shadow clone, wood style shadow clone should be a cell with Sasuke. Able to cast Sasuke's blood succession boundary, even pupil Sharingan and reincarnation Sharingan. However, when Sasuke really used this technique and wanted to drive out 5 Susanoo at once like Madara, only then did I suddenly realize that things were far from being as simple as imagined. Madara in the original book did this in the state of impure world reincarnation. After the resurrection, Madara did not do this. Therein lies a problem. Impure world reincarnation revives Madara, and Madara's power is somehow ignoring the actual problem. Because wood-style shadow clone has the body's cells, it can use the feature of the body's blood inheritance limit. Just let all the wood-style shadow clone burst out the amazingly powerful Susanoo. Yet when living people want to do it, but it's different. First of all, in terms of cells, if we only rely on wood-style cells, then there are too few hematogenous factors that carry the hematogenous limit. It can't even reach the level of releasing blood succession limit at all. And to reach the level of unleashing the limit power of blood successor, you need to expend a lot of energy when making wood-style avatars, making cells one by one. Manufactured cell by cell. One can imagine the difficulty. That is a human body. Is it the same as creating a self? Moreover, different blood inheritance boundaries have different inheritance factors. So it is simply unrealistic for wood-style shadow clone to fully replicate all of Sasuke's powers. Among them, making the Sharingan factor is the most difficult, let alone Rinnegan or something. Even more impossible. It seems that the state of impure world reincarnation does have many benefits. But Sasuke can't die. So, the problem of wood-style shadow clone, Sasuke thinks it is more interesting. It is not enough to have wood-style soldiers, there are many powerful elite ninjas among the ninjas. Their fighting power is not something that ordinary wood-style soldiers can handle. So Sasuke also needs some powerful presence. Although it is not necessary to reach the Kage level, it is still necessary to be comparable to these elite ninjas. But wood-style shadow clone has one more important point. Hesitation possessive cells are doubles of the entity, then they are not susceptible to Sasuke chakra fluctuations. So, Sasuke seems to have a way. Create physical wood-style clones so they can act as elite ninjas in your own army. Thus, his own wood-style army has a combat effectiveness comparable to that of the United Ninja Army. Sasuke set his sights on the blood successors he possessed. Ice escape, boil style, lava style, magnet style, dust escape, plus wood style. Create 6 elite ninja level wood style shadow clone yourself. At the same time, make some ordinary wood style shadow clone, plus your own Grandmaster's 5 stunning ninjutsu. It can also be regarded as surpassing Jonin but weaker than elite Jonin. The army of ninjas became more and more perfect. However, it is too slow to be efficient alone. Sasuke drew 10 shadow clone to help, hesitating to create blood inheritance factor only Sasuke body can. So 10 shadow clone is enough. Too much has no effect. Now even with these blood succession limit levels, Sasuke also needs to raise them up, and at the same time, the related supporting ninjutsu must also be mastered. With the previous copy of Sharingan, although Sasuke did not deliberately learn it, Sasuke will never forget the techniques that Sharingan has seen. Now that you have the corresponding chakra, you can easily cast it. Shueiji ninjutsu must also be fully improved. A training ground inside the Orochimaru base. Originally, this was an incomparably huge space, and it basically accommodated 50,000 to 60,000 people at the same time without any problem at all. But now, Kimimaro stood at the door, watching the figures completely fill this place, and Sasuke as the main character has no problem at all. The number of these clones is so terrifying. The thought of Sasuke alone can form an army, and within a week. Is this possible? When the 5 great nations mobilized ninjas from various villages. 50,000 ninja troops, the 5 major countries have sent such a number. For the entire ninja world, it is impossible not to know. The big earthquake in the ninja world, this is the real eruption. Countless civilians fled from their residences and rushed towards the deep mountains and old forests. There has never been such a terrifying number of ninjas, even in the troubled times of the past. A war involving so many ninjas at once. It can be said that it is the most ninja war in the ninja world. And looking at these ordinary people, displaced and constantly fleeing in fear, they almost all became refugees like locusts. Eat it wherever you go. This situation exceeded Nagato's expectations. Looking at those civilians, Nagato doubted what he had thought for the first time. Obviously the ninja world war has not yet broken out, why these civilians have become like this. After the war, wouldn't everything be fine? Nagato couldn't figure it out. Nagato? Konan stood behind Nagato, softly calling Nagato's name. However, at this time, Nagato just looked back at Konan blankly. Konan, do you think we were wrong? Wrong? Konan also finds it incredible that the war has not yet started, and there are no ninjas making trouble. Why do ordinary people have become like this? The war did not start, but the panic it brought to the people had broken out. And the more catastrophic the moment, the easier it is for the evil of human nature to be exposed. In peacetime, things that ordinary people want to do but dare not do will be opened at this time. Robbers, bandits, and robbers are countless. This is troubled times. However, in peacetime, it is simply impossible to have so many bad guys. The bad guys at that time would only be ninjas. Because ninjas have power far beyond ordinary people, they have greater courage to break through the shackles. In the final analysis, ninjas are human beings just like ordinary people. Nature is the same. Nagato has always thought that the ninjas brought disaster. Because he only saw the disasters brought by ninjas, but he didn't understand that it was human beings who really caused these problems. But now it's too late. The ninja war has begun. It is impossible to retreat. At the same time, Nagato didn't want to back down at this point. He was only one step away from trying to build his ideal world. How could it be possible to retreat at this time? Thinking of this, Nagato closed his eyes and chose to turn a blind eye to ordinary people. Turn your head and, let's go. Conan, go where we need to go. At this moment, Conan felt that Nagato seemed to be different, but he couldn't tell exactly what was different. At this moment in the country of fire, Yin Yi. In the original book, the battlefield is around the land of thunder. Because 8 tails and 9 tails need to be protected. But now, among the 5 major kingdoms, only Konoha's 9 tails Jinchuriki still exists. So the object of protection is naturally Naruto alone. And the battlefield is naturally in the land of fire. Unlike the Kingdom of Thunder in the original book, the Kingdom of Thunder is relatively easy to defend. Because of the proximity to the sea, the Land of Thunder has a coastline that can serve as a barrier. However, the Land of Fire is located in the center of the ninja world, so it is not that simple to defend. In addition, according to intelligence, the army organized by Akatsuki and the White Zetsu army can lurk underground and can emerge from the ground. So, there is no need to defend dangerous positions or anything. United Ninja Army. A total of 250,000 people, plus 30,000 warriors from the Iron Kingdom. It should be counted as 280,000 people. It has reached the level of 300,000 people, and with the addition of miscellaneous logistics, it has properly surpassed the level of 300,000 people. According to the deployment of the 5 leaders. With Konoha village as the center, 20,000 ninjas are deployed in each of the 4 directions of southeast, north, and west. The fractional ninjas are elite jonin from each village. 80,000 ninja troops formed Konoha's line of defense. The remaining 200,000 ninja troops showed another attitude. Their goal is to attack the country of Oda, Yinin village. The purpose is simply Sasuke. In the words of 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi. Pure defense is too passive. Our enemy is not only the Akatsuki organization, but also Uchiha Sasuke. And Uchiha Sasuke's power is very powerful. We can also use Uchiha Sasuke to help us contain part of the Akatsuki organization's power. Even as long as it is operated properly, Uchiha Sasuke is equivalent to our strong fighting power. And in the eyes of 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi, Sasuke is just a person. It would be foolish not to take advantage of such an existence. It is obviously impossible for Sasuke alone to protect the 3 tails Jinchuriki. Then it's time to try with Akatsuki to see who can snatch the 3 tails Jinchuriki. Master the 3 tails Jinchuriki, then the winning rate of the combined ninja army will increase. On the other hand, Konoha's intention is very obvious. While keeping the 9 tails, he will try his best to snatch the 3 tails. As long as there are 2 Jinchuriki, the lack of anyone can make the plan of the Akatsuki organization unable to be completed. This is absolutely impossible for Shao organization to accept. Although the 9 tails snatch is important, the most difficult one should be the 3 tails Jinchuriki. With Sasuke protection, it is not so easy to take down 3 tails easily. If it takes too much power to fight Konoha in the beginning, it may not be able to deal with Sasuke in the end. At that time, all plans fell short. And Nagato speculates that the allied forces seem to think the same way. As long as the Akatsuki organization breaks Konoha publicly and captures 9 tails, Samsung will be in control. Coupled with the combat power of 9 tails Jinchuriki itself, it is not so easy to solve. In the end, the balance of victory will be in favor of the coalition forces. So, Nagato also decided to deal with 3 tails first. With the most powerful posture of him now, he snatched Vice Admiral 3 tails from Sasuke's hand. Then go back and deal with the 5 major countries, although there are 300,000 ninja troops. But in Nagato's view, no matter how many people there are, he just needs to catch 9 tails. So don't worry at all. Instead, Sasuke should be resolved first. Deal with the most difficult problems first, and later. It is equivalent to picking the fruits of victory at will. And Sasuke didn't expect, of course. Both sides point their fingers at themselves. This is just right. Then show these guys a look at your own army. Sasuke raised his head and looked at the densely packed black soldiers below. The number of these wood-style soldiers, has reached a very terrifying level. I believe that when the time comes, both parties will be surprised. And at this moment, the borders of the Kingdom of Field and the Kingdom of Fire are on the border. The advancing ninja united army came to a vast and incomparably next door. Dust and smoke billowed. The ninja troops of the coalition army were resting in place, but at this time, a figure suddenly appeared in the wind and sand. The leading ninja suddenly stood up. Someone. How many people? One. A person who dares to walk towards the united ninja army is Uchiha Sasuke?